What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you, and we are bringing you fantasy news today. We got 2/3 of the Friday crew. TD couldn't make it. He'll be back next Monday. But we got Bogard Scott free in the building, repping the GMM Network.
Yeah, give me money.
Man, we need to get a lot of this money right now. And let me tell you, we got a grip of news to get to. Let me shout out everyone who's up in the crew. I'm an island boy up in the crew. What up? Let's see. All right. Let's just get to some of the first news. Vanessa, what up? And said, damn, Jamal Williams just popped up as a COVID reserve illness, but no info. So yeah, if anyone has questions on anything, that's kind of how we can roll, with the Friday news. And so as of right now for the Lions, so we already know Swift is out. Jamal Williams being placed on COVID reserve. He's going to be out. There's just not enough time, with the negative tests or whatever that he would have to get. And as of now, TJ Hawkinson is doubtful for the game.
So pencil him out.
Pencil him out. If he's doubtful on Friday, yeah, they're not playing.
I just realized I always say pencil him out when you're supposed to say pencil him in, right? So what, like erase him?
Yeah, cross him off. Cross him off.
There it is.
There we go.
Yeah. So who do you think's going to be then?
Nobody. I don't want to play anybody from the Lions.
Oh, hold on. I'm reading right here. It says in an unprecedented event, Coach Dan Campbell is starting at running back.
This is going to be what it was like in The Longest Yard when the coach has to come in at running back right at the end. Nate Scarborough is coming in at fullback.
Listen, goes. Hey, who is he? Is it Scarborough?
Nate Scarborough was the name, yeah. And in the first one, I can't remember who it was, but it was Burt Reynolds.
No, but we actually had a Scarborough running back from the Lions last year, the 2 years ago. Remember him?
Yeah. I don't think his first name was Nate. He was a black dude, but yeah, Scarborough was his name.
Yeah, they need that guy back.
Hell yeah, life and
sports.
Hey, listen,
no one wants to start anyone against Denver anyway.
No, they suck.
None of those bums. Jamal Williams would have sufficed, but
yep.
So while we're on it, no Swift news. Did they rule him out yet? Are they still trying to be?
No, Swift is out. Swift is out.
Okay.
Oh, dang it! All right, well done. Yeah, Swift is out. Hold on one sec. Yeah. All right. Here we go. And Life and Sports Talk with Jake says, what up? Got the house smelling like New York steak. I like it.
Nice. What are we talking here? A1 horseradish? Like how? Put it in the chat. How are you doing your steak? Like what? I'm always curious to know.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I was always on that Mac Dre tip, and he's even got it in one of his lines, steak ain't right without the A1, but like, it's really just shitty steaks. If you're rocking a good steak, you really don't need any A1, but it's making my mouth water just thinking about it right now though.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you this much though. You can bacon wrap steaks, makes it always better. You know what I mean? Like filet mignon is already incredible. And then, you get the bacon wrap filet mignon, bruh.
I love that shit, man. You ever been to one of those Brazilian steakhouses?
Hell yeah.
Man, those bacon wrap fillets, like, man, those are always the ones I'm trying to triple up on if I can.
The key is, like, because they give you, like, I mean, this one joint that we go to, they have like these mashed potatoes, right? And the key is just don't fuck with the mashed potatoes, even though they're fire, because that's how they're trying to get you. That fills you up. You know what I mean? You got to go straight carnivore when you go to those joints. Carnivore with a little bit of veggies. You know what I mean?
Yep. And Life and Sports Talk with Jake. He ain't playing around. He said Tapatio, bro. Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Tapatio. Give me money, bro.
There we go. Said that raw tomato and purple onions. There we go. And Dion ain't fucking around. He said, I love A1 sauce on any steak regardless. He said, my parents hate it. Man, if they hate you having A1, can you imagine what Patrick Mahomes' parents feel about him? Right? Ketchup on the steaks. And whether it was a joke or not, I hope that that's true. That at one point in his life, he liked ketchup on steaks, and now they're making a joke about it.
I mean, ketchup on like meatloaf is like a thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Meatloaf can get dry as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but meatloaf to me is really just like a big burger at the end of the day.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
A big dry burger half the time.
Yep. And
You
second
know,
take extra said, how about them Cowboys? Let's get it, bro. Yeah, we can't mess with TD today on his Cowboys. We'll see on Monday, though, if we can.
you can shit on my Niners if you'd like, second take. You know what I mean? I'll join you.
And I'm an island boy. I said, fuck ketchup on steaks. I've never had it, personally. Never tried it. No need.
Yeah, I mean, to me, ketchup is for like maybe on some burgers, right? Meatloaf, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I go to like breakfast joints, you get like hash browns and eggs and shit like that. Like, yeah, ketchup. Now we're in ketchup's realm.
Yeah. And what did Dion say here? Yeah, they always say a good steak doesn't need sauce. I mean, if it's real good, you don't need no sauce on it because it's going to have already flavors, from the steak itself. But, if you're getting, I know there's some people who like to get a hockey puck, get that, get that extra well done, steak. And that's probably the time when you need it.
See, like having hella kids, my steak, I can't make the steak medium anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
because your kids, right?
Huh?
Because your kids won't fuck with it, right?
Yeah, they're not gonna eat like a semi, pink steak, and I wouldn't give it to them either until they're more older. You know what I mean? Like that shit might upset their stomach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, bro, I was eating the steak like fucking bloody, bro. That shit was fire.
Yeah, and I don't remember eating I just don't remember eating a bunch of steaks when I was younger. We mostly went to my grandma's house, who was making food when my parents were working and shit, and we'd go there after school, and she was always just making Mexican food. I mean, that's pretty much what it was.
Fire.
Hell yeah. And Triple X Lex said, trip me out here in JC in the background.
Right?
Yeah, he was good. It's too hard doing it in the same room. Having the two computers and the echoes and all that shit. He had a cool spot downstairs, in the entertainment room or whatever, but shit's way too popping down there right now.
Mm-hmm.
They heard JC Penny's was rolling in. So,
yeah. Did you hear that, Bogard? He's no longer JC Money Design. Yeah. He's now JC Penny after the shit that he's been pulling.
Hey, but his beard is a million though.
Oh yeah, that can't take anything from that.
How's the beard in real life? Is it as luxurious in real life as online?
Yeah, definitely. But one thing, you never get to see him in the elements. I'll tell you, his beard looks way more hardcore when he's got nothing but snow in it.
Nice.
Looks like a real Viking at that point.
I always imagine if I had like a beard or an afro, like I would store things in it.
Have my weed sack up there, shit like that.
Just right here.
I mean, shit, look at Marge Simpson. She used to keep the family's Christmas, money up there.
Exactly.
Nobody knew. Big old jar and everything.
Right.
And Antonio, you can shit on the Jets. Everyone does. There you go.
The Jets shit on themselves.
Oh, yeah. The people's champ. Yeah. I said ranch on steaks is fire. I've never had ranch on steak.
I'm not mad at it because I'm a fan of like steak sandwiches.
Yeah.
Or even Philly cheesesteaks. And I'll have ranch on the side and dip that motherfucker.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And we're going to be getting back to the beginning, guys, and we're going to get back to the news. You guys know I like interacting with you guys. So I like all the comments that are coming through on our steak and meatloaf tangent. So Second Take Extra said meatloaf is good with a good sauce with it. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because, some you're putting the sauce on top of it, and stuff. It all depends who makes it.
Right.
Let's see. And Life in Sports with Jake says medium rare all day. Me too. Garlic powder and lemon pepper. Yeah, that's all you need. Hell yeah, and butter.
Yes.
Because if you're making a good steak, literally, you throw a little bit of garlic salt on there and a little bit of pepper, that's really all you need.
That's really all you need. And I'm a fan of I think they call it the gristle. You know what I mean? Like when you the pieces with the fat, bro.
So funny, man, because it's okay getting that, but every time my wife gets a steak or whatever, if she doesn't get a filet mignon, there's always some fat, there. And I guess I just have it written on my face that I like fat off of the steaks, and so she always gives it to me. I'm like, you're a bad influence. And there we go. AP on Twitch said, I grew up on a farm eating steaks rare as fuck.
Straight off the cow's back.
I mean, especially when you know where the meat's coming from, you know, like that's for sure.
You know what, too? The motherfucking when you're buying your steaks, right? Here's something I learned. I forget who I learned this from, but like the more yellow the fat is on the steak, like the more tender that meat is already. You know what I mean?
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So if the fat's like super white, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, it's not like it's gonna be a tough steak. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's a little tidbit I picked up somewhere along the way.
Hey, we've had some tough steaks, you know, like, man, I'm sure there's some people who've had some tough $2 steaks out there.
I mean, them $2 steaks, you know what they do, right? They hydrate the fuck out of them. You know what I mean? And then once you fry them bitches up, because I've lived hard times before. You know what I mean?
You know, dusty roads, but you've had some hard times, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And Anna said ketchup and mustard on hot dogs, no ketchup on a steak. A1 steel sauce, though. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And you know what, too? I'm not mad at A1's like bastard cousin, Worcestershire. Like, you know what I mean? Just when I'm frying up the steak, you feel me? Just a little bit of Worcestershire in that bitch.
A lot of sodium.
And second take calling out JC Penny.
Hey, listen, man. We grew up when you're a young fly motherfucker, right? JC Penney's one of the first stops. Then you graduate to Macy's, and then you graduate to Nordstrom's. You feel me?
Unless you're in a place with Fred Meyers, and then you might go Fred Meyers first, and then Nordstrom's, you know, after that.
Mm-hmm. But come on, we're raised by the Mac. I buy from Nordstrom's, not Fred
Meyers. But it's so funny. I remember, like, so this is already after I've heard Mac Dre stuff, and we go to like my cousin's house out in Oregon, and like there's no sales tax in Oregon, I believe is what it was. So we did all the like our shopping and shit out there.
Yeah,
just to get some extra shit. And I remember my aunt was like, "Oh yeah, we should go to Fred Meyers." And like, I didn't say it, but man, that's all I was thinking. Man, fuck Fred Meyers. Go to Nordstrom's.
Right.
All right, let's see. And People's Champ, what up, bro? I just wanted to say that if you start Madison this week, you shouldn't be playing fantasy football. I'm not going to say that's true because there's a lot of people that don't watch this show, bro. Like, that's what I'm going to say because, like, if you guys watched this show yesterday, you knew not to play Madison, or you at least knew that you had to play Cook. And maybe you put in Madison as a secondary option also if you had some really shitty, players to choose from. But this is the exact reason why I did not like Madison to start the season, is this exact reason. Because when Dalvin Cook comes back, he is always the man, and Mixon is never mixed in at all. Let's see who else we got in here. Okay. We got some new news here. So we're jumping around. We are jumping around. And Elijah Mitchell, he is officially out. I just saw it pop up. A couple people threw it here in the chat as well. Okay. Debo was also out warming up, but they didn't give the extent of how much he was really, doing things at practice. And Bogard heard that Wilson was a full go. What do you think, bro? Like, where are you going? Because just like we had all those Cook fucking Madison questions, I bet you one of the biggest like questions we're gonna get is Wilson versus Hasty over this weekend.
This is why it's Shanahanigans, right? Last week, they go Hasty is gonna be the guy behind. This was like quoted by Shanahan. He will be the guy behind Mitchell. So everyone's racing to get Hasty this week. But that's also because Wilson was like not practicing. Then he goes into a full go, right? So now then they're saying Wilson's gonna get the start if he goes, and he's in a full go, so he's gonna go. But if Debo goes, I'm not starting any of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, because Debo's gonna get probably more touches than, I'm not gonna say both of them combined, but I bet he has
run the ball 30 times, right? It's probably split 10-10-10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think Debo is at this point, Debo be the one that they put in the red zone packages.
Yeah.
So like he'll be in there in the money downs. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. I believe it. And Debo, I mean, hopefully we hear more. I'm sure we'll hear more by tomorrow and stuff. And maybe we'll hear some more stuff like right now. But him getting out there at least to, be out there in warm-ups,
Yeah. And then if Debo don't go, Wilson and Hasty, I think they'll just it'll still be, if they run the ball 30 times, it'll probably be like 12, 8, and then like some miscellaneous Ayuk and like what's his name use check, and that's annoying.
Yeah, it really sucks. And it
and
doesn't
like
make
so
me very
hard to
predictable.
judge the matchup too, because the Bengals, they show up and then they don't show up. Like they're like schizophrenic.
Yeah.
So I don't know which bank. I couldn't even tell you if this is like a solid matchup. So I probably. But if you're in a pinch though, and you got to start one of these guys, it's probably gonna be Wilson.
Yeah, for sure. If Debo plays, I'm probably avoiding it altogether because you're not sitting Debo. Debo plays, you're playing him. But yeah, if Debo plays, that makes a lot of question marks pop up. Yeah, and my man David throwing in the super chat, you the man, and People's Champ, I put you down for the extra entry as well. Let me just get David's down here too. All right, here we go. Let's get it. Let's see who else we got here. Dang it! And Antonio said I got Hasty in WWF 1 to replace Keenan Allen. Oh man. We still don't know. We still don't know what's going on yet.
I mean, he's going to be the passing down guy. That's one thing I'll say.
Yeah. And let's see. Whoop, whoop. Life and Sports Talk with Jake says, by the way, 15 days until the dab. Let's get it.
Let's go. That's just a cunt hair over 2 weeks.
Yeah. What up, Ruben? Shout out to the 420 crew. All right. We got off on a big tangent, and we almost got to this part. Let's have a moment for Demaryius Thomas. DT, like crazy dude is 33 years old. I mean, I know there's some people listening who are probably younger than 33, but I'm 35. Bogart's 37. Now. So I mean, it's crazy hearing stuff like this, and Stu brought it up how he got into a big car accident, about a year ago. Then dealing with all these seizures and stuff ever since. And I mean, that's really all we know as of now. We don't know too much other than that. But yeah, man, moment of silence. We got to pour one out and smoke one for DT. Tough times.
Yeah, man. And just when I went down the little Demaryius Thomas rabbit hole this morning, you know what I mean? Because I woke up to that news and I was like, oh, that's crazy, and like, everybody's gonna remember Tebow, what I'm saying, like being what he was, but like that play was all Demaryius Thomas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
yeah, what did he throw? Like 10 yards or something?
Yeah.
And DT houses it.
Mm-hmm. What was it? When he got Peyton Manning, he finishes the year 5th overall at the position. The next year he finishes 1st, 2013, and in 2014 he was I think it was 9th, and then 2015 I think he was 6th or something like that. But like you just forget how dominant he was, and it was hella consistent too. You know what I mean? But then it just fell all the way off after Manning. You know what I mean? As it should probably.
I mean, pretty much the Broncos in general completely fell off. Like, yeah. I mean, the offense has been shit ever since.
And you know what's crazy is like, I don't know what happened to Demaryius Thomas, because then he ended up like with the Jets, and I was like, what are you doing over there? You know what I mean? That was like 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
4 years ago, 2017.
Yeah, Demaryius and Eric Decker, right?
No, Decker was already gone by then. It was like Quincy Nunwa and fucking.
Who was there with Decker though? I swore it was both of them.
DT and Decker played together.
It was Brand. It wasn't DT. It was Brandon Marshall that was.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Very similar players, and both played on the Broncos and balled out.
Fitz magic, bruh.
Just bringing it back.
Yeah.
He's the man. He's the man.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Demaryius Thomas. Also heard that he was like an awesome human being too. You know what I mean?
Tom Brady came out, posted a picture on the gram about her. Maybe it was Twitter or something, but someone reposted it on Instagram. And it was showing a picture from the Hall of Fame in August of him and Demaryius Thomas and talking about how they were good friends and he's going to be missed and saying that DT was always lighting up the room wherever he was.
Yeah, he got that big old smile.
Huge.
They called him Day Day, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's
Man. So tough.
Yeah, man.
We got some other news here. My man Antonio throw it in here. Keenan Allen is officially out. I can't remember specific names of who was asking me, like, oh, should I still start Keenan Allen? He's still, projected points on ESPN and all that. We've been telling you guys since Monday or Tuesday, whenever he went on COVID reserve, that he's not going to play this week. We've still maybe only seen it like once or twice this season where someone goes on COVID reserve and they actually play that week. They usually miss at least a week.
But here's the thing, that COVID reserve ones that actually played, they were only exposed, like close contact. They didn't test positive.
That's the other piece of the puzzle that I didn't mention.
Yeah. Like, so Mike Williams didn't test positive, but obviously exposed to Keenan Allen. You know what I mean?
Yep. And Mike Williams has tested negative, 2 days in a row. And coaches are saying that him and Chris Harris should be playing barring a setback. I don't really know what a setback means for COVID.
Because, a positive reading.
Okay, because they're still getting tested every day, right? Like no matter what, even if you test negative twice in a row.
Tomorrow is make or break. Tomorrow it has to be negative because then it has to be 2 in a row, right? So that would be number 2.
Yeah. Well, I think it was either today. I think it was today that he had his second negative one in a row.
Oh, word. See, that's all they say you need is 2 of them hoes.
That's what I'm saying. So but it's not like they're saying, okay, he's fully playing. Literally they just said barring a setback. So I don't know what a setback is other than getting exposed to someone else with COVID.
I think that's just like sometimes when my girl's in the room talking to me, I'll be like, okay, bye. Like we're on the phone. Maybe it's just coach speak. It's just, not barring any setback. Like it's just something that comes automatic. You know what I mean?
That's true. They all got a couple of these isms that like literally every single coach uses.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I like Mike Tomlin. He's the best because Mike Tomlin, he'll come out and say everything before anyone asks it. He'll be like, yes, we couldn't stop the run tonight. Dalvin, hell of a player. TJ Watt, it's hurt. It's going to be a big loss. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, and then he'll be like, questions. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's so funny that you mentioned that. So right after this question, we got one from Life and Sports Talk with Jake. He said, should I start ODB, Westbrook on Tennessee or Foreman? I'm going Foreman. I think he's going to get good volume, even if the efficiency isn't all the way there.
I'm going ODB because this is an intangible, but then I could also dress it up with other bullshit. Like the intangible is that he balls every time he plays on a Monday night, right? So every team he's been on, he's balled on. Matter of fact, one of the only times he balled with the Browns was on a Monday night. Granted, it was against the Jets, but still, you know what I mean? Like even though this is a divisional match and divisional matchups, it's not like it's the AFC North. Our divisional matchups, we run it up. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
The Rams cards, I just want to attach myself to a high scoring game in prime time. And then, I could also dress it up with more bullshit. Like I said, 4 weeks now with the Rams. So you know what I mean? I mean, you got to be way more acclimated by now. And he's playing. The only thing that sucks is he's not playing as many snaps as Van Jefferson. But I'm going with OBJ here.
And Triple X Lex said Hawkinson is listed as doubtful. You think he has a chance? Anyone who's we've seen get a doubtful tag on Friday does not play. So I'm going to say no, that he doesn't have a chance. And if he's out, do you think I should stream Hooper or Uzama? Great question, because I was actually going to be talking about some Browns news here in a little bit. And we already know that Njoku's on the COVID reserve list, so he's not going to play. Harrison Bryant is out as well. With an ankle injury, he hasn't practiced all week. So we've already been talking about Austin Hooper. Now that Bryant's officially out and they're going up against the Ravens, one of the worst teams against, the tight end, I'm going to be telling a lot of people to fire up Hooper amongst a lot of these tight end streamers.
He's a touchdown or bust guy, but it's that's what more can you ask for from a tight end, right?
Shit, you tell me. Well, let's see. We'll say Travis Kelce isn't a touchdown dependent. You give me another tight end that's not touchdown dependent.
Yeah, I mean, like there's Waller, there's Mark Andrews. You know what I mean? Kittle. I mean, these because they're basically used like they have a 20% at minimum. They're getting like a 20% target market share. You know what I mean? Those are those guys. You know what I mean? Like for example. Whoever started Tyler Conklin last night, you know what I mean? Or like Pat Freiermuth. If Pat Freiermuth doesn't have the touchdown, you're hella mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're hella mad that he dropped that last touchdown, like right at the end.
I'm actually glad he dropped it because then like I started knocks over him in two different spots, and I'm like, okay, I can live with that. You know what I mean?
Damn. Life and Sports Talk with Jake said Muth and Dalvin almost got me 48 points. Damn.
Show off.
Yeah. And
I hate Dalvin Cook right now. He killed me.
And then here's what we were talking about, what you were with the Tomlin. And Life and Sports Talk with Jake says, love Tomlin's post game. We're playing JV on both sides of the ball, and we play whoever we need to. Claypool about to be benched, that fool.
Yeah.
I don't think Tomlin didn't say that, but that's what Life and Sports Talk with Jake.
It's just in the cards because he has a history. Like, look at Deontay Dropson. Remember? That's what I used to call him last year because he had a bad case of the drops. And then they benched him at one point because he kept dropping at things. You know what I mean?
That was the game that Claypool became Claypool, was when Deontay got benched.
Mm-hmm. And next week, if someone's asking me Claypool or so-and-so and Claypool's the better choice, I'm still going Claypool. He's not going to miss the game. He's just not going to start. You know what I mean?
At least that's what we hope.
I'm saying though, like he won't be first in the rotation.
Yeah.
And James Washington over there, like is like a teacher's pet. You know what I mean? Like they love him over there.
There we go. Antonio, thanks for getting my attention. And I saw the super chat, and then I saw Stu's message here. Said, hey, Hus Bogey, can you give a shout out to my home health nurse, Mari? She's cool AF, and obviously I'm watching the show. Hell yeah. Shout out to Mari. Take care of our homie Stu.
Mari.
Take care of our homie Stu. He needs to be he needs to be taken care of. He really needs it. And Antonio, appreciate you, bro, throwing in that super chat, bringing me right up to what's going on at the bottom of the chat.
Oh yeah.
All right. And my man Jarrett, what up, bro? Said, so we not playing Guyton. I have a claim on him to drop and scoop Mooney up. Not sure who else to grab. Guyton makes me nervous.
I would grab Mooney, like, you know what I'm saying, over Guyton. But if you don't get Mooney, Guyton's still an okay start. There's no Keenan Allen, and Guyton was already like a WR4. You know what I mean? Maybe he gets a little uptick with no Allen there, but he doesn't play those slots. So, those slot snaps, you know what I mean? That's probably gonna be more Josh Palmer, if anything. But like Guyton's he's the opposite of Mike Williams, so he's gonna be the guy who gets single coverage, and he is a burner. You know what I mean? Like when you look at his stat line, it's always like 2 for 70 or like last week 4 for 90 in a tug. You know what I mean? He's the big play guy.
Yeah. And what up, Ed? Said, what up, Hustle? How is it out there? It's dope. It's pretty dope. I'm glad that I came out here, got the experience, got to meet up with JC Money in person, got to see snow actually coming down from the sky. And Ed Tay says, any news on Eckler? As of now, no. I mean, I think he's going to be good to go.
I think it's just them being careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just being careful with him because they're in the thick of it. And he's already missed time this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even this year aside, I mean, he just has a big injury history.
You know what they call him over there?
What?
In the locker room, they call him pound for pound.
Okay.
And like he personifies that. He's this little ass dude moving a fucking pile. You know what I mean? Like Darren.
I remember when he was squatting that they were showing some of his squats, and he squats like 700 or something.
Yeah.
Like he's got fucking tree trunks.
So does Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Or he just, I mean, but that's the thing about Aaron Rodgers is he doesn't need to. He could just do his yoga treatment for the week and be straight and still go out there and shred you.
You know, he's in touch with his chi. So like he can just float the ball without touching it.
Hey man, it's real. It's real. Like we hear Tom Brady, talking about it, and how Giselle even says that she's a witch, but she's a good witch, but like all the shit that they're doing, like, obviously he's very talented and everything, but I think you take Giselle out of the picture and all the secrets that she has to like unlock.
He brought the secret of the avocado. She knows how to harness the power of the avocado god.
I bet Tom Brady didn't even eat avocados until he met Giselle.
Right? He was like, guacamole, ill. He was like, Mexican food. He's like, he's from Cali though too. So he might know a little something about some avocados actually.
But he's from NorCal though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we got avocados, B.
I know you do, but those, the Southsiders, they're just a little bit different than those Norteños. Maybe it wasn't his style.
That's true. The Nortes didn't want they didn't want to fuck with the farmers, right? They're like, fuck farming. Fuck farming, homie. Hey, listen, Nortes have nothing on the Sureños, bro. Like the numbers. Yeah. But hey, and then listen, I'm not hopefully no Nortes come try to shoot me, but I'm from a city that was like one of the main cities for Norteños, right? And like my city is like overran with Sureños at this point. Like you see them wearing blue and wearing Sharks hats.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Boy, have the times changed from when I was a wee tyke. A young mustache.
Yeah, I forget what it was. What was it? Back when D.L. Hughley made a guest appearance on Fresh Prince. And in the show, I mean, he's from Philly and he's coming out there.
Stand up though.
Yeah, but he's playing this stand-up guy. And he's like, man, I didn't know that colors were such a big thing out here. He was like, I was told not to wear red, was told not to wear blue, and then I wear plaid, and 2 golfers beat the hell out of me.
Oh, shit, that's funny.
And second take extra, here we go. Some more news. Melvin Gordon, questionable for week 14. He practiced, and all signs are pointing to him playing. So even though he's officially questionable, they said the expectation is for him to play on Sunday, and I still think the expectation is for Javonte to kill it, get close to 20 touches, and be hell of efficient like he has been.
I think that they're going to come out there, whoop the fuck out of the Lions, and Melvin Gordon will be like, I'm just chilling, bro. Like, do your thing. You know what I mean? Like, if this was like a game they had to get up for, like the Chiefs or something like that. I mean, last week he was really banged up. But say like they're playing the Chiefs or the Chargers this week. He's getting up for that game. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's going to be there in like more of like an emergency type role or just a relief role. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So fire up Javonte. Don't anybody be afraid of not firing up Javonte because Gordon's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And People's Champ throwing it out there. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Yeah. You already know. Bang, bang.
Yeah.
We out here.
And let's see. Where else we at? People's Champ said we need Debo to play this week. I just saw another piece of news that said after the practice today, coaches are very optimistic about him playing on Sunday. Coach speak, like I've been saying it this entire week, and I'm going to say it again right now and a couple more times on this show. Saturday night show, the Playmaker show / Q&A, and the Sunday morning show that I do every week. Those are the 2 most important shows this week. Do not miss either one of those.
Yeah, and you know what? Debo is in the West Coast. It's the 1:00 time slot. You know what I mean? They are on the road, right? But I'm saying, so and for all you East Coasters, that's the 4 o'clock joint. Have a pivot ready. You know what I mean? Because Shanahan is a fool with it. You know what I mean? So have a pivot ready if you have Debo and he doesn't go.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Alan Lazard is readily available. You know, guys like that. Like maybe even better MVS. Like, you know, just because they play the night game. You know what I mean? Or who else is some available pivots you think?
Let's see who else plays in those games.
Maybe an Amon-Ra St. Brown is floating around out there, or maybe a Tim Patrick, or you know what I mean. Like there's gonna be some guy like it's slim pickings, but you know what I mean.
I mean, you might even be able to pick up an AJ Green
There
or
you go.
Kirk, you know, on Monday.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, AJ Green's a good one. I actually picked him up as a pivot for my Henderson shares.
What up? Vanessa said, who's the Lions starter with Jamal Williams out? Let me even go check on their depth chart. Because I honestly don't even know. I mean, it might be Jamar Jefferson.
You know what's crazy is that week with the first week without Swift, Jamar got in there for like 3 carries. And then the oddest shit was like, because remember that was the first game they won against the Vikings. Somebody scored a touchdown, but I don't think it was one of their running backs. It was like a safety or something.
No, here you go. It's this dude. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Godwin Agwabuki. I don't even know how to fucking pronounce it, but that's the dude who's number 3 on the depth chart right now, ahead of Jamar Jefferson.
Is he the one that scored the touchdown?
I'm almost positive that it is.
Okay. Yeah, so that guy, we don't know how to say his name. You don't want to start him.
No. If I mean, Lions are already ass like right now. Now we're taking away the best player, you know, Hawkinson, and really Hawkinson is the only.
You mean Swift?
Well, I mean,
the best player.
Yeah, I mean,
Hawkinson is ass, dude. He's a victim of circumstance. He's a benefactor of circumstance. He just gets target volume. You know what I mean?
If I was Swift, I'd be making business decisions right now, and I wouldn't be wanting to play, you know, right now. And so we've already been talking about how we don't think he's going to come back anyways, you know, just because they're so ass. But yeah, I mean, that's what sucks. Like Swift is out, best player. Hawkinson is ass, and he's their best pass catcher. Everyone is trash out there. You just you don't want to play anybody on the Lions at all.
I'll tell you this much. Anthony Lynn came out. That's their offensive coordinator. He said, he said, we expect Jared Goff to take more deep shots down the field, right? First of all, Jared Goff sucks going down deep. Pause, right? Actually, that worked. Yeah, he sucks when he goes down deep. Pause. Anyways, it's like, where do you see this Anthony Lynn? Like, I think he only had like 2 receptions or 2 50-yard touchdowns or more with the Rams. Like, you know what I mean? 2 50-yard house calls.
Where's Anthony Lynn? Is Anthony Lynn's with the Lions?
Yeah, he's their offensive coordinator. That's why the running backs do so well.
You said they do so well. I think they're vastly underperforming.
What are you talking about? He was like a top 10 guy all year until he got hurt. Swift.
You don't think that if Swift was being used more properly, he could have been better than that?
Yeah. But I'm just saying because it's Anthony Lynn. It's the same way when he had Melvin Gordon. He's like, but I also got this other guy, Austin Eckler here. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. They always find a way to fuck shit up. Look at game 1. Jamal Williams, didn't he get more touches and more everything than Swift? Like just week 1 versus Niners?
Swift had less touches. I think it was like 2 or 3 less touches total, but they both went off. You know what I mean? Swift had like the big house call. I think he had like the 40-yard house call or something like that. And then like Jamal Williams PPR'd as fuck.
One thing that I know is Anthony Lynn had literally one of the best rookie I'm going to say Anthony Lynn had the best rookie quarterback to ever come out, and he almost figured out a way to fuck that up.
I mean, you could say if him as a coach, scheme-wise, I think he's okay. I think him as a coach, decision-wise, is stupid. Like he never can he poor clock management,
horrible clock management,
and then poor play calling situationally. You know what I mean? But see, look at that. That's a testament to how great Justin Herbert is because he still set the rookie record for passing TDs as a rookie. You know what I mean? He beat Peyton Manning and Russell and Baker.
And Anthony Lynn got fired. They already knew if we keep him around, they're gonna ruin.
Yeah.
He's gonna ruin Justin Herbert. That's why I was low on Justin Herbert last year, was because I really thought the coaching regime was gonna ruin him.
I mean, you know what's crazy is I knew nothing about Justin Herbert. Like, cause I would, you know, the other guys were hella more polarizing. You know what I mean? Joe Burrow's coming off the national, and like, you know, 60 tugs with the Tigers, right? That's crazy. 60 touchdowns, fucking nuts. And then, you know, Tua is like, you know, everyone remembers Tua just for coming in relief of Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just, and so, you know, there was just, those names were just so like polarizing compared to like just this kid who's kind of like blah.
Yeah. Life and Sports Talk with Jake. Here's a good one. Said, hey, Hustler, indica or sativa? So over the last couple of days, I've been a little bit more sativa heavy, but usually what I am doing is it's all the indica.
I want to say I love it all. Give me the hybrids even, because why not have the best of both worlds, right? And like, sometimes I'll go with like, I'll look for strains like a Do-si-do or something like that. That's more, it's a hybrid, but it's sativa dominant. Or like, you know, I'll go with some classic Granddaddy or some Purple Urkel, because those are hybrids, but they're like extremely indica dominant. You know what I mean? Like, damn, they're all indica. But me personally, I love me some sativa, some fucking Durban Poison, Sour D. You know what I mean? Even some old school Blue Dream, just anything that's sativa. I love it. I like being like, I don't drink coffee. I wake up in the morning and I get loaded. You know what I mean? I don't want to. And indica, all like, you know, I'm from the Bay. We had the whole Granddaddy era, like where it was like all just everything purple. That's all you would ever smell in the air. And even motherfuckers were putting in grape blunts and everything. You know, just smoking grapes. That's what they called it. You know what I mean? We smoking grapes.
That's what's so funny, because I wasn't really a fan of the purple, you know, just like, because like there's some people like, oh, purple, I need it, you know, it just doesn't even matter, like purple. And I remember we had this bud, and you know, it was back in the day when not every, you know, when some stuff was white labeled, you came up with your own names for it, you know, stuff like that. And so I remember this bud was so purple and it was bruised all the way inside and out, and I called it the purple people eater. Man, there's still people who bring that shit up to me like to
Was
this
this
day.
Was this some rope?
You know what? I'm not sure.
Like, no. I mean, like, was it good? Like, was this?
Oh, was it fire? No, I mean, it was. I mean, you know, like there's levels to it. It's obviously like an A- or a B+ because I wasn't messing with anything.
Here's the thing: you can make any weed purple.
Yeah, I don't realize that.
It's the degrees that you keep it in. You know what I mean? Like you could, or you could choke it. I think that's the term they use. But then also too, like, you know what I mean? Like true purple, like the Granddaddy shit like that. You know what I mean? Purple Urkel, like I mentioned earlier, cherry pie, shit like that. But like those are like the original indicas that you always saw around. Now you have all kind of shit. But like there was always this, we called it lavender out here. It was purple that was fucking whack. It was just purple weed, but it was some straight up regular.
Yeah.
And like, people out of towners used to eat this shit up because it was like, oh my God, purple weed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? They would go back, go back to whatever fucking state they were in, like, you know what I mean? And be like, oh, they're the man with purple, but it was just like purple regular weed.
Yeah.
Then there's even a way you could dye the weed.
Yeah, man, they're just doing way too much these days. And the People's Champ 2007 said Puro Norte. Hell yeah.
Yeah, shout out to all the Nortes, man.
Yeah, Donnie in the building. What up, bro?
I grew up in San Jose, man. I grew up with a lot of, like, it's crazy because a lot of my Mexican homies, it was like really their dads and their uncles that were hella in the shit, like in the 80s, you know what I mean? And like, cause that shit was crazy, bro, back then. Like, you don't want to fuck with them, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that blood in, blood out, man. You know, like, I mean, it may be a joke right now to some people who talk about that, but
I'll be right back. I'm gonna walk my girl.
Sounds good. Let's see here. Who else we got? Ha! And the People's Champ 2007 said Jake from State Farm. Probably not playing. So as of right now, Mike Glennon is on track to play this Sunday. So, I mean, he still hasn't been activated officially, but it's going to be going down. I mean, they've been talking about this for multiple days. So if you're rostering Jake from State Farm, kick him to the curb. And dang it, sorry, Patreon peeps. I'm totally slacking over here because I just saw someone get a question in. Here we go. What up, Amy? Sorry, just saw this. Said, what about Ty Johnson with everyone out? Same thing. Don't play him. I don't want to play Ty Johnson with Zach Wilson. Like, I really don't. I mean, I know Tevin Coleman's probably not going to play, but I don't know how much they're going to actually run, Ty Johnson. Like, I'm super, super nervous about anyone with the Jets right now. I'm going to be leaning on the side of just playing someone else and trying not to play him. And there we go. Second take extra, throwing it out there. Looks like Glennon is going to start, not from. More than likely. Let's see if I missed any other ones here before we get into some more of these. What up, Will? Said my only option since Jamal Williams is out is Edmonds, Hasty, Michelle, Singletary, or pick up Wilson Jr. So I think I'm holding out for Hasty. Or no, sorry, Michelle. Holding out for Michelle. If Debo doesn't play, which it sounds like they're kind of optimistic that he's going to play, I'm not the biggest fan of Hasty. I mean, I picked him up in a bunch of leagues, like just in case. But yeah, I think I'm going Michelle. And then you got Edmonds after that. So if you need to pivot, you still can. And let's see. Where we at? Second take extra again. Mike Williams is trending towards playing on Sunday. We're gonna get more news tomorrow. Tomorrow should be the full big boom of the news. Let's see. Jonathan said Mitchell or the guy on the Lions. If those are the only two options, got to go with the guy on the Lions. Damn, and Jonathan said, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it. We'll just call him the guy from the Lions, okay? Godwin I or whatever. What the hell is his last name? What's it start with? A G? Hold on. No, yeah, Godwin I. That's what we'll call him, Godwin I. Godwin I, Jameer Jefferson or Jeff Wilson. I'm going Wilson. Big Cappy Gaming need to play too. Josh Jacobs, J-Rob, Barkley. I'm going Josh Jacobs for sure, and I think I'm going Barkley. And there we go. Antonio, I didn't see you when you put these in, but getting the Jets comments in there about Brandon Marshall. Emil, what up? So we just had a question about this. With Jamal Williams out, would you consider starting Ty Johnson? I mean, if there's nobody else, then maybe, but I'm not really trying to. All right, Kadarius Toney officially ruled out. Yes, because what I saw is he was going to be a game time decision. That was like an hour or two ago. And you know what? I still see that he's just a game time decision. So I like your version better because at least then we know. And let's see. Yep, there's another one. Darren Waller officially ruled out on Sunday. So Moreau, obviously a decent option there, but not really that decent. Ruben, there we go, bro. The only player to come back and actually test positive was TJ Watt. That dude is just different. Hell yeah, bro. There we go. Because I knew it was Watt for sure, who was one of the only ones. But for the life of me, I could not remember if anyone else had done that or not. And what up, George? You said Hasty or Jeff Wilson. Going Jeff Wilson. Got in that full go. And let's see. Let's see if there's some other bullshit news that we need to talk about here. Well, since Ruben just brought up TJ Watt, how about his injury? So he tweaked his groin, and but he might not miss any time. So I mean, there was the same injury that he had before, just kind of re-aggravated a little bit. Right. How about David Montgomery? Okay, everyone's been freaking out about David Montgomery the whole week, but full go in practice, not even on their injury report. So I mean, he is banged up, but being a full go, I find it hard to believe that you'll be able to sit him. And on the other side of the ball, since we mentioned the Packers or the Bears, how about the other side for the Packers? Devondre Campbell, questionable. He's such a beast on the defense. He needs to be there. Randall Cobb is officially out. We told you guys that yesterday. And then also the left tackle, David Bakhtiari, is also out. Rodgers makes it seem like it's no big deal one way or another. Let's see. For the Seahawks, we got Travis Homer and Jamal Adams out. So we already knew Jamal Adams pretty much done right now. And yeah, Travis Homer. I don't know. I mean, you're crazy if you're starting a Seattle running back. I mean, how about for the Bucks? Richard Sherman activated from IR. And what up, Vanessa? Do you think Mixon plays this week? It is so tough. As of right now, I mean, if I'm literally just saying yes or no, I don't think that he plays this week. It is let me look and see if he even got I don't even know if he got in any kind of like a limited practice today. Let me see. Yeah, he didn't practice either. 4:20 Central Time. Oh yeah. Yeah, he didn't play. I'm just assuming he's not going to. So make sure you pick up Samaji because Chris Evans, the other running back, is out as well. So could be a heavy dose of Samaji. Could be a heavy dose of Uzama. Ed, what up, bro? What's going down, Ed? Let's see. What else we got? Oh, so Sean Payton said Kamara was really close to playing last week. Said he should be a full go for this week. We need him to be up against those garbage-ass Jets. And, for the Saints also, Peyton also said he's okay with Taysom's throwing ability. Said if he wasn't okay, quote unquote, if he wasn't okay with it, Taysom would not be playing. Let's see. Who else we got? For the Titans, Jeremy McNichols, full go in practice. Good to go for this Sunday. Just making things a little bit more confusing over there. And for the Cowboys, Micah Parsons, limited again, still is expected to play. I'm very curious on how big of an impact these injuries are going to have on him. And for the Dolphins, Myles Gaskin tested positive for COVID. I believe he's vaccinated, they said. So he's not in danger just yet of missing next week's game. And let's see. Here we go. Triple X Lex said Jamar Jefferson, early down back, and Godwin I is the pass catching back. Okay. Let's see, where are we at? And Life and Sports Talk with Jake says glad Burrow is good to go. Or Higgins wouldn't be relevant, I think. Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. Ooh, Donnie says Dak, Wilson, or Hill in the guillotine. You bastard. And I had Dak on my team. Well, I bet Dak was the backup. But let me see. Let's see.
My bad.
All Gucci.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Yeah, my shit went mad matrixy, then it died and shit. And then I left the fucking computer charger in the bag in the car, so I can't use my computer. I'm hot right now.
And so what do you think about this? We got a question for Donnie. Dak Wilson or Taysom Hill? This is the guillotine league that we were in together. He's one of the last remaining few.
It's funny because I still get the alerts. He had just picked up Dak Prescott.
Yeah. I had Dak as a backup for my Josh Allen, and I wish I would have played him on Thursday because he got way more than Josh Allen. I don't think it would have made a difference on me advancing to the next round.
You know what? I'm going Dak.
Against Washington, right?
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Washington's sack numbers have went up since Chase Young's went out, right? But like, also, if you have a beat up Zeke and a beat up Tony Pollard, and you have this trio of phenomenal receivers, throw the fucking ball on Washington's weakness, which is their secondary, right? Yeah. Obvious, right? But they're probably not going to do that.
He should. I mean, out of all these guys, I'm going to go out on I mean, that's who I would go to because I do like the upside more. But I'm still going to say that Taysom Hill has the safest floor out of everyone because I bet he gets 15 to 20 touches on the ground.
I think his floor is safe on his abilities, right? Because he's a rushing quarterback. So that gives him the quote-unquote safe floor. But I think, like, if you're not throwing the ball, and is Kamara playing?
Yeah.
Okay. So then they might need it. At least he has Kamara to throw the ball to. Because that's what I'm worried about Taysom Hill. I know he's going to run and all that. But, like, is he all floor with no upside? Because, like, you know what I mean? He might throw the ball, like, 12 times for 5 picks. You know what I mean?
Well, what I said last week, it still applies to this week. If he doesn't go over 100 yards on the ground, you're probably not going to like him. If he doesn't go over 200 yards because he's probably not going to throw the ball 20 times, you're not going to like him. He just happened to hit on both of those last week. He had the 4 picks, but he had it was 11 rushes for 110 yards or whatever. And then he had 240 yards, 2 touchdowns and all those picks. So it wasn't that great of a game, but the 100 yards on the ground saved his game.
I'm going to go Prescott still.
No, I am too. I'm just, especially in this league, Donnie. Guillotine league.
Hold on, Don. I want to say this though. So here, this isn't one of those cases where, don't hear what I'm not saying. Listen, I got out week 1, so maybe you shouldn't listen to me on this thing.
Hey, I'm out of it too. I lost this past week, and it's because my first 2 picks in this league. I mean, shit, we have 18 people that we're drafting with, and I had the 18th motherfucking pick. And I doubled up on Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, just right off the bat, went with the stack. And the stack wasn't too nice a lot, but it was horrible this week.
I went Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers with it. And then, everyone knows how they did week 1. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mike Evans, too. It was like Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Mike Evans, I think I accidentally drafted Michael Thomas. I was like, oh, I'm done. I was like, I'm going to die.
And there we go. And Donnie said, yep, from Hustler. There we go. And then, I'm leaning Dak, but I love Taysom Hill's upside. There it goes, a rushing upside. And I got to say, in the guillotine league, you got to go big or go home, especially now because everyone's team is fucking stacked. Shit, how many people are left? Let me see. 17. There's 5 teams left right now. All 5 teams are stacked.
It's decision-making is what is going on now.
Yeah, this is a big decision. And I think you go big or you go home. That's what I think because, fuck playing it super safe right now.
I'm going Daiquiri, bro. I'm going Dakota.
Let's get it.
But Taysom Hill is way more fun. I'll say that. And it's against the Jets. But there's a big realm of possibility that, if you're a Kamara owner, you're pissed that Taysom Hill's rushing those things in. And on the flip side, if you're streaming Taysom Hill, you might be fucking pissed when Alvin Kamara is actually running it down there. You know what I mean? And and maybe they both of them get them down there, right? They both run the ball enough, move the ball, because they're not going to move it through the air. And if they do, it's going to be not very far. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. And Donnie said Bogard. Ha ha. I even took CMC first. Testament to you that you made it. At least CMC was there for the first 2 weeks, and then I'm sure you started picking up other running backs at that point.
I just want to say, I hate CMC because he's so good that like I can't every year I'm not top 3. I don't have him, and I end up with him because he's so good that I have to trade for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I kill him apparently.
What up, Jeff? Jeff C says Burkhead or Gordon. I'm going Gordon.
Yeah. You know, we should just everyone that has Burkhead, just drop him. Go grab something else. That grab something else that you might go grab like Ricky Seals-Jones or something. Grab like you know what I mean? Because he's what is there any news on him? Did he give it a go again today?
I didn't hear any news on Ricky Seals-Jones. I'm gonna go fish for their injury report and see.
John, because if he doesn't play, John Bates is like one of my favorite like secret fucking not so secret tight end for Super Draft Pro.
All right, Ricky Seals-Jones was a full go today. Yep.
Then I like Ricky Seals-Jones a lot in Super Draft Pro. That's how you attack the Cowboys defense. Everything's tight on the outside, so you get them over the middle.
Hell yeah. And Vanessa said, man, all these injuries are killing me. I've got to replace Keenan Allen, Jamal Williams, and Mitchell, not to mention had TJ Watt in my lineup. Damn it.
But see, you can't fault yourself for TJ Watt. Now you're supposed to do that. And you know, we didn't know he was gonna die on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at least he died out there like a warrior. You know what I mean? And he's probably not done for the season, but I could see a lot of business decisions being made. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Vander said, did you see the Steelers almost come back? Yeah, bro. That's why my setup's a little different. I was actually at the game last night.
Yeah, dude. The fucking you know what's crazy is the Vikings defense is that bad, and it worked. It worked against them. He full on Ben Roethlisberger almost Homer Simpson them. You know what I'm talking about? Homer Simpson. Boxer,
get beat up and beat up and beat up, and
then you wait till they're tired, and you're like, now it's time to strike. You know what I mean?
And if Freiermuth would have caught that ball, it might have worked out the way it was supposed to.
Still had to get the 2-pointer though. You know what I mean? But if I know Mike Tomlin, you know, Mike Tomlin's very strict on like keeping like 2-3, you know, a 2-point conversion plays for moments like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Triple X Lex, defensive stream for week 14, Panthers versus the Falcons or Saints versus the Jets.
Saints.
Yep. Me too.
Hell yeah.
Facebook user says Jeff Wilson, Hilliard, or P. Ryan if Mixon doesn't go. I need one. T Money, what up, bro? And damn it, T Money commented, and I totally forgot to bring it up earlier. Said Hustler out there in the snowstorm.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go Perrine. And Mike, they playing this. Him and Jeff Wilson playing the same game. So you know what I mean. If Joe Mixon is a go, then go ahead with Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
And there's a disclaimer here. Don't expect nothing crazy out of Jeff Wilson if he doesn't. Like, he really needs to fall in the end zone.
Yeah. Let's see. And Jeff said it's only for this week since Taylor is on bye. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, play Gordon and drop Burkhead's bitch ass.
Yeah.
People's Champ says, was that Ronald? Is that Ronald Jones? Who is that? I can't see that. Oh, Ricky Seals-Jones. It's a seal. It's so small I couldn't see it. Ricky Seals-Jones or Gerald Everett this week. I'm going with Ricky Seals.
Yeah.
Full go in practice. He's going to be out there doing good.
Yep. I mean, the tight end's a focal point of that offense. That the tight end position is basically the number 2 in the passing game.
Yeah. And Donnie said the one reason I don't want to play Dak is I also have CD and Gallup. So, yeah. I mean, if anything, it should be the other way around because, like,
all the way the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
all of it.
Yeah. Versus a game like this, I mean, I know it's a divisional matchup. You know, teams, I mean, they get up for the divisional matchups. But if you're going to play CD and Gallup, you shouldn't be worried about playing Dak because then you're tripling. I mean, I know we got to triple down on the Cowboys. I mean, but.
You know how angry it is when you have 2 of the receiving. Like I played Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in one of my leagues, right? And the Tyrannosaurus Flex. I play them both every week, and I'm mad as fuck when the random tight end scores a touchdown or it's Jalen Guyton or something. You know what I mean? But if I had Herbert, I'm okay. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. At least you know what I mean? Same scenario. You're gonna be mad as fuck if it's like a Dalton Schultz touchdown or some shit. You know what I mean? But at least you'll have Dak. You know what I mean?
And let's see, got a couple questions on Patreon here. What up, Amy?
I also want to Donnie, one more thing to Donnie. If you have that gut feeling, bro, that you need to go Taysom Hill, bro, then you do that. Because there's so many times I had that same, it just, you know, the force was telling me, and then I'll go bounce it off somebody, and then they'll be like, nah, man, you're tripping. You need to go with so-and-so. And I go, oh, you're right. Okay, I'll listen to you. And then I'm mad. You know what I mean? Because the player I had the gut feeling on went crazy.
Yeah, that's one thing that I will say, because like I know there's people who get mad at me who we disagree on something, and then they may have been right, but they didn't feel it enough to be able to do it. They needed to have someone validate, you know, their claim.
Bias. They need confirmation bias. And here's another thing too, is like, when I have a gut feeling, it has nothing to do with the actual analysis. Like, you know what? You know, they're bad against the tight end, or you know what I mean? Some actual analysis. You know, it's the same way when a motherfucker plays roulette and they're just like, you know what? Like the way I play roulette, I just go black or red. You know what I mean? You're guessing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. Like, I have a good feeling here. We're going black.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, that is what we're doing. I mean, you know, there's a whole process behind this guessing that we're doing. And I know Bogard doesn't even like to say that we're guessing.
Yeah, I don't like to say it.
Because we do so much preparation and we watch so much. I mean, we have so much information in our brains, educational guess, like that's a better way of saying it. But at the end of the day, these are grown men that we're like thinking they're going to do one thing, and there's a lot of variables that come into play. And even though the writing could be on the wall for it to hit red, sometimes it just may hit black, you know?
Like, you know who fucks up our analysis? Coaches.
Yeah.
Typically, like Matt Nagy's one of them, where it's like, okay, what you know they should do is always going to be in question because Matt Nagy's there. Adam Gase was one of those guys. You know what I mean? Marvin Lewis, Jeff Fisher. You know what I mean? It's crazy because those guys, you know, it takes them a while before you're like, man, we got to remove this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yep. Hell yeah. And so on Patreon, we got a question from Amy. Said, would you play Sony over TY even if Henderson plays?
TY's on a bye.
No, I'm sorry, Ty Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not. Listen, I'm playing Sony.
Me too. Yeah, because I mean,
New Orleans is like the number one run defense.
Yeah.
And then I understand you might get volume, quote unquote, but then you'll see this other guy, Walker or whatever his name is. They have other guys there. That's a committee backfield no matter what.
100.
Yeah.
Let me see. Donnie said it's your voice, but our fingers, bro. Yep, got to own that choice. And, you know, there's some people who get, and I'm not going to call anybody out by person, but, you know, I mean, there's some people who they'll get mad because they believed one thing, but they wanted me to validate them. And like in my process, that, you know, the decision wasn't validated or whatever, but they didn't have the stones to make the play themselves, you know, so it's easy to come back and say, I was right and you were wrong. But like, how many times has it happened where people come and they say, like, I've gotten into battles over people about like literally just my opinion about start or sit. I don't even do it anymore. Like, I'm going to give you my opinion. If you want it, cool. If you don't, cool. Like, I don't care. It's your team at the end of the day. But there's always people who want to take victory laps when I'm wrong. There's a bunch who come back, you know, and thank me when I'm right. But it's weird how there's people who they want to debate me and then I end up being right and then they never come back around.
Well, here's the thing though, too, is there's the other type too, where like if you get something wrong for them, they just disown you forever. They're like, he doesn't know anything. I'm never coming back. Right. So, and I like to think that, like, you know, a lot of people are like that. So we try our best to be accurate for people because we want you guys to come back. You know what I mean? And
literally, these questions, I treat them as if I was making the same decision on my team. And that's like, I mean, I have 45 teams, so I'm making a lot of decisions every single week. And there's literally decisions where I tell you guys, I had to make this exact same decision in a league that I'm in, and this is the way that I went.
Yeah, like we're gonna have a lot of tough calls in this next 2 days. It's gonna be a lot of, hey, I have Elijah Mitchell, but I also have Jeff Wilson and Hasty. Who do I start, right? Or then it's gonna be like a lot of I have Henderson and Sony Michelle. Do you know if Henderson's gonna start? And if he does, do I play him? You know what I mean? Like I'm probably gonna say Sony.
And here's one thing that everybody needs to remember. The more names you give us, the more likely it is that we're wrong. And I'm not saying that because we're always going to be wrong, but the more names that are in, that's more variables that are happening. So if you give us 7 players and expect us to hit number 1 out of 7, I know that it's happened sometimes, but if I get the number 2 or 3 choice out of 7, there's some people who'd say that I'm wrong. So that's also something you got to take into consideration. If you're just going to give us a big ass long group of names, just know, just like in math, the more parts of the equation that there are, the more variables that could come into play and change shit around.
It's all fractions, man. It doesn't matter if it's small or if it's big. It's all fractal, man.
It is. Damn it, Antonio. And here's a good example. Said I had a gut feeling to start Gage last week and sat him and he balled out. And it's tough because the writing is on the wall for Gage to suck every week.
Here's the thing. Gage is one of those players I always shit on until he starts doing like, number 1 receiver shit, like getting, 25% of the target market share, double-digit targets type shit, right? Then it's like, okay, I'll reluctantly say it because I hate him, but it's the right play. You know what I mean? So like,
here's an example for me. Josh Jacobs, in the beginning of the season, I was constantly saying I'm going against Josh Jacobs everywhere. And now you guys heard me last week saying Josh Jacobs is as close to a must start at the running back because who the fuck else are you going to play? Like everybody is injured right now.
I remember we was, we did the Tyrant show on Sunday morning. And so I went on, I came on right after you. And when I was on there, somebody was asking, Josh, it was like, I have Josh Jacobs. He plays in the 1:00 game, but I kind of want to go with, so-and-so, but he plays earlier. And I was just like, no, like, you go Josh Jacobs because he's getting the targets now. You know what I mean? Like, because before he was basically touchdown or bust. But like, if you're going to get 5-6 receptions, there goes your touchdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, because that you need those guys like that. Virtually had no floor until the work started coming. And it's like, oh, okay, he has a solid floor now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Russell Gage, too. It's like, was that back to Marquez Valdez-Scantling? You know what I mean? Like, 19 targets in the last 2 weeks. It's fucking insane. It's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, getting double. I mean, I don't know if we've ever really seen him go back-to-back games with double-digit targets ever.
And like maybe Aaron Rodgers figured him out. It's like, okay, he has a 50% catch percentage. I got to throw him in 10 times for him to catch 5 big ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
all mathematical equation.
It's all fractal, man.
Now, let's see. And let me see. We got from my man Frank on Patreon. And sorry, Triple X Lex, we'll do this in a sec. I just don't want to forget about Frank here. And said, with Waller out and Gesicki on bye, who's a better option? Higbee, Fant, Hooper, or Seals Jones? I'm going to say Seals Jones.
Me too, because that he already flashed a ton. He was doing his thing before he got hurt, and when in place of Logan Thomas. You know what I mean? So I like Seals Jones the rest of the way. They don't play a team the rest of the way that's ranked higher than 25 against the tight end. It's fucking awesome.
Well, yeah, because who do they have? They have the Eagles also.
Mm-hmm. They have the Eagles twice.
Yeah, they got the Eagles twice and the Cowboys twice.
And the Cowboys twice. Yep. And they're ranked like 26 and 27 or something like that. Last time I haven't checked for like 2 weeks, but I just remember when Logan Thomas first came back. I was like, that was my whole thing. Like, you always want to have information for people when they're like, hey, Logan Thomas rest of season or so-and-so. And it's like, hey, no, Logan Thomas, man. Like, you know what I mean? And I happen to know the schedule.
Yeah. And Triple X Lex, should I drop P. Ryan or Nick Foles to get a tight end to replace Hawk? Looking at Hooper, Seals, Jones, Uzama. So here's the thing that sucks. We don't know the full extent of Mixon and what's really wrong with them. They're saying illness. Everything is being kept under wraps right now. It is all being very coy. So I kind of don't want to drop P. Ryan. Nick Folk has been one of the better kickers like in the league. But I'm going to say fuck Nick Foles, dude. Just drop him. And it's all about how bad you need to win this week. And I would go Seals Jones and then Hooper second.
I just am not fucking with goddamn what's his name? The kickers like that. Like I have no problems dumping the kicker. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm going to just drop the kicker.
Let's do it.
Like that means he's holding 2 kickers. This is preposterous. And you know what? Just get fucking Matt Prater or something, because all you really want from a kicker is a guy who's on a team that can move the ball and get you in the field goal position routinely.
Yeah, and if you're not like with these kickers need to be treated just like defenses. Mm-hmm. And so like the only reason you're keeping a kicker right now is if you have specific matchups that you want to play them for in week 15, 16, and 17. That's really it. Like you have to treat the kickers like defenses. They're expendable. Here's
the thing. I mean, I guess he's the most awesome kicker because he can kick in the fucking 30-mile-an-hour wind. You know what I mean? But like, even that, if they're during this time of year, I'm trying to find an indoor kicker if I want to get specific. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of bad weather out there during this time.
Yeah, but look at yesterday. Indoor game. Chris Boswell, is supposed to be the thing. What did he miss? Like 2 field goals or something, missing extra points and shit.
If you looked at the audience closely, right, and you were there, you didn't see everyone going at the same time?
They were all doing the stupid skull shit or whatever, like all at the same time.
And it reverberated the air and changed the trajectory of the oblong shaped ball. It's all math, man.
Yeah, man. Steve Urkel, he would be so good at fantasy football. Like, remember how he was the pool shark, and it was all the angles and everything? Like, yeah, Steve Urkel would be awesome at this.
Have you seen Steve Urkel's commercial? He has his own weed now.
Yeah, bro, I'm the one who sent you that
shit. That's right. That's how you know I'm awesome. I think one time I tried to tell you the Chris Jericho, Michael Jackson thing, and you're like, I told you that. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, man, that's funny, bro. I do that a lot. I'm just like a sponge. I retain information.
I know. It was so funny when you start giving the whole Chris Jericho story. And I was like, wait, like, this is what I told you, right?
Sent me down that rabbit hole. So I went and watched that shit. I forget what the documentary was called.
I forget too. I heard it on his podcast. Yeah, was where I initially heard it, where Conrad came and interviewed him.
I went on YouTube searching. I just put Chris Jericho, Michael Jackson, and it just popped up all kind of shit. But that was one of them where he's talking about the holding the pose, right?
Yep, holding that pose forever. So he he said he saw Michael Jackson holding it, and he said it seemed like it was like 15 minutes that he was like holding the pose for. It just seemed like forever. And he said it was in Mexico City, and there's like, hundreds of thousands of people there, like crazy ass event.
Was it one of the soccer joints?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Probably. And Mexico City is like if you think LA is polluted, bro.
I didn't even know how crazy Mexico City was. I mean, it's the 3rd biggest populated city in the world.
And they're high up there too. They're super high in elevation. So they say that's how the motherfuckers can kick the ball. So they clear across the field, like in the air, 60 yards and shit.
That's why they wanted to do that game down in Mexico City or whatever, because but
the air quality was so bad, and the weather too. It was like a combination of the two. So then, and that was supposed to be that legendary Rams Chiefs game, but it still ended up legendary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was in LA, right?
I remember I was down 89 points in a PPR, but I had Kareem Hunt and Patrick Mahomes, and I won by like 20. It was fucking
Insane. Yeah, dude. Freaking Mexico City. Yeah, they got like almost 10 million people.
But see, you know what's funny? That shit ain't. That's like a regular sized city in China, bro.
Well, yeah, but it's the second biggest city in the world. So, I mean, there's only one city, bigger than that one. I'm sure it is in China. But the amount of space, there's no space like there. Like, I don't even know. Like, let me see how many people per square.
How many people's in San Francisco? Because that's a motherfucker that's just stacked up on top of each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So in Mexico City, it says there's about 16,000 residents per square mile.
That's just walking through. Excuse me.
It's crazy.
Just everywhere, shoulder to shoulder, everywhere is traffic. Excuse me.
Yeah, bro. San Fran doesn't even have a mill.
You see what I'm saying? And my city has over 1 million. San Jose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're a big fucking city though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what they do here when I search that was in 2019.
San Francisco has like 2 million actually, right?
It said 900,000 when I put in San Francisco population. And then I look here.
They don't count the homeless people.
You know what? That may be true because then I put in San Francisco population 2020 and it says the population of San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley metropolitan area has about 4.69 people. 69 dudes.
Wow. I mean, shit. I mean, when I was a young aspiring artist, I remember Smash Mouth. I saw an interview with them on MTV, and Smash Mouth, for context, they're from my city, and we're 1 million deep in population. So I remember they went platinum, and he was on MTV, and he was talking about, man, it's so crazy. We sold 1 million. It's like when I walk outside in my city, everyone I see has my album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I was always like, man, we don't need to go anywhere. We could just squeeze it out, like squeeze the juices out.
Yeah. Just got to squeeze them right. And yeah, it even says in here the population of San Francisco in the 2020 census, 873 million. Or 100,000. I mean, 873, 100,000.
Am I still in the Matrix?
You're not now, but you were for a second.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's wild. I would think that San Francisco had more, but then when you look at the map, I mean, it's hella small. Like on the map, I mean, it's just a lot of suburbs, and a lot of different joints right around it. San Jose is way bigger on the map than San Francisco is.
Right?
And Jeff, I don't think we answered this one. Would you play Gallup this week? Other options are Renfro, Van Jefferson Jr. I think I'd go Van Jefferson over Gallup this week.
Huh. Van Jefferson has been getting a mixture of the Deshaun Jackson looks and the Robert Woods slot targets. I'm gonna go with you here, but it's because he has a moderate floor with a super high upside. If you want to go someone who's not gonna bust you at all, you go Renfro.
Yep, that's a safer play for sure.
Yeah, but I don't. Man, I used to run in bitches raw, bro. We going Jefferson. We don't play it safe.
It's go big or go home right now. Obviously in certain situations, we're going to play it safe, but I'm always going to try to give the high upside guys that I think are going to hit.
Yeah, because for me, I was torn between Gallup because here's another thing. Gallup's been getting double-digit targets the last couple weeks, but it's also like he was the only game in town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's kind of hard to, to judge that. Because he's immediately going to go back to the number 3 look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And let's see. Sean said, anyone actually believe Jeff Wilson is the lead RB in San Francisco? Guy will be out by the first quarter. So I don't believe with all these committee backs, I don't put any weight into who the starter actually is. But I know you said the lead back. I like what Bogard said earlier, where if Debo plays, it might be 30 carries for all these running backs, 10 Debo, 10 Jeff Wilson, 10 for Hasty.
Yeah. And if Debo's feeling good, that might turn into 12 or 15. And it just all of a sudden he's just playing full on running back. The last time he got double-digit carries was the game that he got hurt, and he scored 2 tugs. He didn't get not one target. So I'm saying no Mitchell. And here's the thing, I remember when Jeff Wilson was eligible to come back that week, Mitchell got hurt, so then Mitchell wasn't going to play, and everyone was like, "Oh man, this is what we were waiting for. Why we were holding Jeff Wilson?" And then you look at the game and you're like, damn, they really want Elijah Mitchell back. You know what I mean?
Because they're giving the ball to Debo first snap out of the gates, like that.
For real. And I will say that game, because that was the game against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And I will say Jeff Wilson did get a red zone target. He was wide open, and Jimmy G he sailed it on him. You know what I mean? So like it would have been maybe that would have changed. It would have changed for maybe it's unfortunate because that's not his fault, but that could have changed it in the eyes of the coaches too. You know what I mean? All right, man.
At the end of the day, there's a lot of film, that gets put out there, and a lot of it I still think is gut feelings with these coaches because they know practice. They know what these guys, their potential is, in their eyes. So even though some writing is on the wall, I know that some of these coaches play with their gut.
I mean, and here's another thing too, is when you have your nightmares realized, like with Shanahan's nightmares that everyone gets hurt, it happens to him all the time. So like, you look over the years, he made sure he had a plethora of running backs. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And here's why you need a plethora too, not just because of injuries, but because you're not satisfied with these players that you have. There's a reason why they drafted 2 running backs this year. You know what I mean? Because they were looking at Jeff Wilson and Mostert like, okay, we're not just going to be okay with you guys. You know what I mean? And then look what happens. Good thing they drafted Sermon and Mitchell because Mostert gets hurt, and then Jeff Wilson got hurt in the offseason to start. And then on top of that, Trey Sermon is a bust. So good thing they have Mitchell. You know what I mean? Like, This is why he stays with a gang of running backs. For fantasy, it's annoying. But it's just like you always want the Shanahan running back somehow. You just, it's hard to diagnose who the fuck it is.
Hell yeah. And
to answer the question, I'll say if there's no Debo, yeah, he's the lead guy. What does that entail, though? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And Niner MMA 86 said, first time I saw your channel, you guys gave me the green light on Cedric. Hey, Mr. Wilson, during Thanksgiving. Been watching ever since. Hell yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Because if we told him, fuck Cedric Wilson, and he went off, that guy's never coming back.
Never.
And then this is what's dope about shout out to everybody that rocks us, because we probably, like the Franciscos of the world, the Antonios, you know what I'm saying? And even not just the guys, not just because they're in our leagues, but also like, the second take extras, all the guys that keep rocking with us, even if we're giving them wrong information, right? I think by now they rock with us because they fuck with us. You know what I mean?
Well, and here you go, right here, just right on point. Life and Sports Talk with Jake says, no matter if you're right or wrong, bro, I'll be here. I'm here for the entertainment. And that's what we're trying to be. Like Austin said it earlier when he was like, man, all these uploaded ranking videos, it's all the same fucking shit, but it's just a different mouth giving you the information, So I'm going to keep doing this. It's way more fun for me. And I just want to hear, from you guys. Would you rather have us doing some uploaded shit, that you can't, interact with? Or do you like the way that we do this, even this news show? Sometimes it's a little scattered, but we're here at least interacting with you guys. What would you rather have us do? And TD chiming in, good looking on the super chat, bro. And I shot you the link if you got time, because you may have to come back up this claim. Rashad Penny, a must start. He didn't say must start. It says Rashad Penny, a start this week. I'm assuming he's not asking.
Well, check this out. Adrian Peterson isn't being brought back onto the active roster, I heard. He
hurt his back or something is what it was. So he got hurt. Yeah. And look at here, Justin's got to come over here with this dope AP fucking AP hockey fucking sweater here.
He's such
That's cool.
He's like Jack.
And someone was super stoked about it. They came up to him at the game like, bro, where'd you get that jersey at?
Well,
Super stoked.
I never realized how much I always wanted like a Steph Curry football jersey now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just start mashing them up. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Wayne Gretzky baseball jersey next.
There you go.
On that note of the hockey,
Just hella confused.
FYI, guess what Super Draft Pro has for us tomorrow? NHL for us.
Nice.
For the subscription base.
For the members?
Yeah.
Oh shit. So we just got some new news here, and Austin, I hope you're on here because I know you're the NHL guy, but apparently there's going to be an NHL contest for members now.
Yep.
For tomorrow night. Because there's no college football, right?
You know what I always wondered? You know when you go out to practice, right? You know, say you play basketball, you're going to go out there, run 3-point drills. You're going to run some fucking, you know, some give and goes. You're running drills, right? If you're in hockey.
And Fantasy Good Sports is asking.
He's asking about Rashad Penny.
I'm not fucking with Rashad Penny at all. Like, even with the news about AP, like, Alex Collins, I don't think we have any new news about him being, like, out or anything.
You know what? In the words of like, first of all, I hear TD's voice. Like, I hear TD's voice where it's like, that's Bush League shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's, you know, Rashad Penny's kind of in that no man's land, like, where, like, you really got to be desperate.
Must be, for sure.
And the Texans, I mean, how are the Texans against the run? I know they're not.
Here's one thing that I'll say about the Texans. They are the team that you need to stream your running back against. Like, they always seem to be that way.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were 32 against the run last year. You know what I mean?
But then there always ends up being
2 years in a row. But this year they weren't as bad.
And let's see on where they are of actually giving up. So right now they are 28th in giving up points to the running back.
They've improved.
yeah, they used to be 32. Now they're 28.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. In my 14-teamer, like, I picked up Rashad Penny because that seems feasible in a 14-teamer. You know what I mean? But also for context, I picked up and dropped him like several times throughout, like, you know, the past couple months. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, just keep adding them just in case. And, you know what I mean? Because it's still Pete Carroll. He wants to run the ball, but they just can't do it.
Yep. And here we go. And TD made it. Sorry, we don't have his drop because I'm on location right now.
I got it.
Nobody does it.
Like me. Nobody who can say she like me. Who can lay your body? Nobody, baby.
What up, TD?
What's up, bro? Guys, I apologize and forward because I know I might be in the matrix, but I was trying to get in the line, so I had to actually post it inside the browser, Alex.
All good, bro. All good. And okay. I know sometimes it gets a little bit shaky, and especially because you're on the road right now, right?
Yes. I just left the barbershop.
Okay, cool. And I think you're probably better without the video because I think the way that it works is when you got the camera on, I think it makes the phone lag a little bit more. So you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I was asking y'all the question about Rashad Penny. I think he's a good play, so I was asking y'all to get some confirmation. What do you think I should start him?
You know what? I'm fuck, man.
Here's why I say no.
Here's
why I say no. Here's the reason why, and I may be wrong about all this. Okay, I may be wrong about all this, but here's what I remember. I remember the one time that we were kind of excited for him to play this year. You know, finally Pete Carroll giving all of these isms about how he's so excited about Rashad Penny and all this and that, and he cracks off the game with an 18-yard rush. You know, just right off the bat. And then where does he go? Right to the sideline to hold his head down. He couldn't even go straight to the blue medical tent because they didn't even have it up yet because they didn't even know that they were going to need it on the first play of the game.
You know what? With no AP, it does interest me a little because he's coming off of 11 carries. And, like, what we're looking for is, like, you know, maybe 15 carries with, like, a couple targets. You know what I mean? Like, if he can get the Alex Collins work, you know what I mean? But, you know, here's another thing too, is like, I think as a team, their team average is less than 3 yards a carry. So, and the reason I bring up the team average is because that means their line is bad. It don't matter who's back there, not even AP.
We know that their line is very, very bad. It's one of the worst in the NFL. That's another reason why I'm not super, but behind Penny. I mean, last week you look at him, it's not a bad game. I mean, he
make it interesting, huh?
Say it again.
The Texans, they make it interesting too, though.
They do. I think, and Rashad Penny, one thing, even when he got hurt that time, Alex, he did look explosive though.
Yeah, he did.
Sure.
And last week, he clearly looked the best out of everybody, and that was against my Niners. We're a fairly good run defense. I think we're we're middle of the pack.
You don't think Travis Homer looked better? I mean, I know his, just one big run, out of his 3 touches that he got.
What are you doing here? I see what you're trying to do here. But I'm gonna stay consistent. Fuck Travis Homer.
Oh, I'm not playing Travis Homer. I am not.
No, I know that, but I'm saying fuck Travis Homer. And that guy
was playing.
No, because it was the flukiest fucking special teams touchdown. That is a fake punt.
Okay.
We fucking
No, it wasn't a special teams. It was a rush.
Yeah, it was a rush.
It was a fake punt. So yes, it wasn't special teams, but
whoa, yeah. I forgot. Yeah,
it was supposed to be. Listen, fuck him. Okay. I hate the Seahawks.
Yep.
They always do it to us.
Who's the starter this week for them? Is Alex Collins?
It's Penny right now because we didn't hear nothing about Alex. But
let me see if there's any news that comes up.
Here's the thing: if I would say at this point with Alex Collins being beat up, if he does play, he's not the starter because Penny was the guy above him, but had to be put on IR. Then they had to elevate Alex Collins from the practice squad. You got to remember before Chris Carson went out, he wasn't even on the team. He was on the practice squad.
Yeah,
Alex Collins was. They were fooling with Homer and Dallas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been and Alex Collins still limited. Still limited today in practice. Has been limited all week.
But you know what? If this is a river dance competition, boy, he'll get.
Now see,
did y'all get the Jamal Williams news that he's out with COVID?
Yep, wild,
Okay.
wild.
Okay.
Got big Rona.
Hell
Hey
yeah.
man, I was at the mall, and I got 4 kids, and in the history of my kids, ain't none of them never want to fuck with Santa Claus, like take a picture, right? And you know what's hella is my son yesterday. He asked me. He said, "Daddy, is Santa Claus coming over?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" I started dying laughing because that's funny. So when we saw Santa Claus, I was like tapping him. Look, son, look. Santa Claus, bro, his eyes lit up. He couldn't fucking believe it. And then when I got closer, I started looking at Santa Claus. I was like, oh shit, that motherfucker's wearing a mask. You know what? Let's go take a picture. Because I was like, I ain't gonna. How stupid is that as a parent, right? Like, God forbid any of our kids get COVID, but it'd be like, well, how do you get COVID? It's the fucking Santa, man. Like, it's the only thing I could think of. You know what I mean? It's the only person he was close to. But Santa was wearing an M90 mask. He was wearing the legit joint over the beard. I was like, okay, let's go.
Wearing it over the beard, why not under the beard?
Well, because then you would see the beard is fake.
What? Santa Claus is fake?
I mean, it's fake, but for the kid. Anyways, right? How about this? My son, he's in the picture. He's kind of like, you know what I mean? He doesn't look too happy at all. And then the lady goes, "Trust me, this is one of the best pictures." Like most kids are sitting there crying. Like, you know what I mean?
One of the funniest ones I've seen lately is like when the kids are like leaning away from Santa Claus. Like if they're in the picture like with Santa Claus, like sitting next to him, they're kind of like leaning away from him.
Hey,
they don't want COVID.
If I could smoke weed at the mall, I would smoke weed at the mall and just watch the kids freak out when they're just going to meet Santa for the first time. Like that shit is hilarious to me.
Bro, I went into this toy store because we're trying to knock out hella Christmas shopping. I went into the most pathetic toy store. I put it on the gram. I was just kind of on my stories, but I was just walking around like, damn, this toy store is whack, bro. Like they didn't have shit. Like what kind of toys are these? You know what I mean? Like we had some ill shit as kids. I mean, I'm pretty
homemade toys.
Like there's dope shit out there. You know what I'm saying? Like online and shit. But back then, would you say TD KB toys?
He said homemade
No, I was
toys.
just being funny. I said homemade toys.
Oh yeah, bro. I mean, shit.
Sticks and boxes.
Got to get creative.
Yeah, I still remember.
But that's what I was
Like,
if they had trash toys. But yeah, Toys R Us and KB Toys was gas.
Hell yeah, bro. Toys R Us was that shit, bro.
I heard that they're going to be bringing them back.
Oh,
And you know what it is? You know what it is? They did what Hostess did. Remember how Hostess went out of business for a year? It was really just so they could fire everyone, get a whole bunch of like business, shit, funding and all that kind of shit. And then they fire everybody, and then they bring all new people back, and they're paying them, pennies on the dollar compared to the regime.
Did any like that second Zombieland? Was it any good?
Yeah, it was good.
Justin said JC Penny said it's good. I never seen it.
Okay. Because it just made me think of it. Because he was like, "Fuck these zombies. My whole mission is finding the goddamn Twinkie."
Yeah. It's fucking Twinkies.
Oh man.
And how was his truck so clean, bro? There ain't no car washes, bro.
No way. Not in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, not when you're running over zombies and shit. Where's the blood and guts everywhere?
I'm in Minnesota, and there's no zombies running around, and nobody's car is clean out here.
Fuck no. Why you gonna clean your car when it's about to get snowed on?
Exactly. And the street is fucking ridiculous. Like, man, the dirt and snow and mud that's just on the street that everyone's driving through. Yeah, your car is getting fucked up real quick.
Yeah, it's funny when people aren't from places with snow, right? You know what I'm saying? We think of snow as like a winter wonderland and like Christmas and shit like that, right? Skiing, snowboarding, shit like that. Sledding, just fucking joy. Then when you go to the cities that snow, then you see that black snow, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Fuck
see
that.
gray snow. You feel me?
And Team Money, you the man. He said, win or lose, I'm rocking with you fuckers. Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You the man, bro.
Because it's not about like the guys, it's about the process. So we don't never give nobody, we're not gonna tell anybody to do, well, sit Alvin Kamara play Rashad Penny. Like, we don't do that. But if we tell a guy to play, he's at least gonna get the targets. And sometimes the targets or the carries don't resort to a good fantasy week. So that's one thing I can stand by all of us. We don't never give anybody nothing crazy where the guy don't get 0 targets or no carries, and we talking about playing them, right? That's when it's wrong to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
When everything is based on gut feelings.
Or like I used to work with an individual, and I won't say his name, but it was just whether he liked the player and I hate him. No, don't start him. Like, no logic, just he didn't like him. You know what I mean?
And both me and Bogart, we've already taken step backs on players that we're usually off on, and we pretty much say we're not starting this person for this reason because we don't like them. And at least for me, one of those players was Josh Jacobs, and I've already changed my tune, and you guys have heard it already.
Yeah, because 3 weeks, maybe a month ago, we're still hating on him. You know what I mean? But like once you start minusing, the bullshit, like not targeting him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because our problem was never really Josh Jacobs. It was the way that he was being used.
Yeah, and he's also just
yes.
he just stays hurt too. Like, he's a guy in college that split with Damian Harris. You know what I mean? And he didn't get the bulk of the workload either. It was Damian Harris who got the bulk of the workload. And then so here's Josh Jacobs getting a workload, and he hit that rookie wall pretty tough back in 2019. You know what I mean? And in 2020, that kind of carried over, where it's like, this is a guy you shouldn't give too much work to. But now they're forced to, and we love it in fantasy. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
They have no choice now. They don't got nobody. I mean, maybe Peyton Barber even Jalen Richard is out.
So I think we're gonna continue to see bell cows like that. Like, Derrick Henry is a dying breed, and so we're gonna have to start picking running backs on our team, kind of in the split type of carry type situation. So you're not gonna get guys to carry the ball 25 times on the team going forward in far as football. To me,
You know what's funny is I think this year was the experimental year, because you have this first ever 17-week season, right? So they learned a lot. And that's one of those things like you might have like, you know who's smart is Baltimore, because they kept Gus Edwards all these years because he's a closer.
Yep.
He's a closer. Yep. When you're winning these games, put him in the game. He's gonna fall forward for 2 or 3 yards every time. You know what I mean? Yep. This is gonna be a type. It's like how not a lot of teams run fullbacks. Pretty soon you're gonna start seeing teams have closing running backs.
Yeah. And really, like, I mean, I was talking about it like this year, where really the only workhorse, like, you know, guys who are getting, and I'll just say 100%, even if they don't get it, but it seems like they are. Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, CMC. Yep. There's literally no one else in the NFL.
Najee Harris.
I agree.
Well, now, but we didn't know that preseason if he was going to be.
I knew.
I mean, yeah, but he shouldn't be because of how bad the line is, and they're not doing shit this year. Like, they shouldn't be horsing him this year. They should be preserving him a tiny bit.
But you know what? You know why this is important is because now he's gonna know how to condition in the offseason. Because now he's gonna know, all right, I was getting, you know, I mean, this to withstand the test of time with this type of workload, you're gonna have to be some type of beast. Remember Le'Veon Bell? He used to take boxing because he's like, all right, they can't hit me if my footwork's hella good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, because he thought that would help preserve him. But also at the same time, he was a benefactor of a top 5 offensive line. You know
yeah. I mean? And I mean, I don't know if they were top 5, you know, passing offense back then, but they were slinging it though, like crazy.
Oh,
well, he Antonio Brown on the outside. So Antonio Brown, he's gonna help any running back because you got to double team him the whole game.
And also they were one of the best passing offenses because they had like they were like 5. He was like always sniffing 5,000 through the air.
Big Ben was a top 5 quarterback then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in 2018 he hit 5,000. Wow.
Yep.
And but that's what's crazy is like, okay, yeah, Le'Veon Bell, you know, let me keep working on my footwork and shit. But then when he lost that 6th gear, like then nothing else mattered. Nothing else mattered.
Here's
I don't know, Hustle, if he lost the 6th gear. I think he went to New York and lost the passion because he was good the last year in Pittsburgh. The year before he held out. He was good then.
Yeah, because that was the only year that he actually stayed healthy all year, and they got to the AFC Championship, lost to the Patriots, right? And here's the thing too about that year is he averaged almost 3 yards a carry before contact. That's how good that line was. Then he went to New York where like guys like Bilal Powell and Chris Ivory, guys like that, they were averaging 1.5 yards before contact. That's not good. That was not good.
That's horrible.
And like he became new Shady McCoy because what was Shady McCoy in Buffalo? He was just all volume and you just hope for the best. You know what I mean? And like Shady McCoy did have a top 5 finish 1 year in Buffalo, but after that, it was just shady. You know what I mean? Like pun intended.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to Le'Veon Bell. You know what I mean? Like, and even how about this? He needs a top 5 run blocking line for his style because he's like the ballerina type, fucking dancing around, like, you know what I mean? Patient.
Yeah.
And remember, he was so in sync with the Steelers line. Like he would tap the motherfucker on the shoulder he would be like behind him with his hand on the shoulder. You know what I mean?
And they call it steering. He was steering to the
exactly. And like he was creating holes because they were all simpatico. You know what I mean? He goes over to the Jets and like he's the new money guy on a fucking project team. Yeah. It wasn't gonna happen.
That's probably the nicest way that the Jets have ever been referred to, a project team.
Because that's what they are. They're like a pilot. You know what I mean? Like, so this is what we kind of want our football team to look like. Huh? What do you think? No, we're not gonna sign you. It's just every week's a pilot. They'll never get signed on for a season.
And let's get through it. Let's smash through a couple of these questions real quick. So Sean E.G. says Dylan or Jefferson in the flex. I'm assuming Jameer Jefferson. Half point PPR. I'm going Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, don't fool with the Jammer thing, man.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Unless you don't have nobody. Unless you
I'll
have
play
nobody,
Rashad
you don't have
Penny
nobody
over,
playing the spot.
I'll play
ahead.
Rashad Penny over Jammer.
Yes, that I agree with that. So, and
Yeah,
I play him over
I would
Birkin
too.
and those type of guys.
Definitely. And Second Take Extra said, bruh, you were right on the over last night.
Yeah, I was. I don't know if I really knew if it was gonna go over. I just happened to get lucky. I'm not gonna act like I knew this game was gonna go over.
What was the over under? It's in the 40s, right?
I'll be right back.
It was like 40, it was like 40. It was like 44.
Yeah. And let's see who else we got here.
So Mike Boone's on the reserve COVID list.
Mike Boone on the reserve COVID list.
So let's hope that he didn't have any close contact with anybody else like Devontae Williams or.
Yeah, he better not have.
Hey, these playoffs is gonna be crazy. These playoffs is gonna be crazy with this COVID stuff, man.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I mean, last year was too. Got to keep your pockets loaded where you can.
You're right.
And Big BS said, I made a bet out of the playoffs, but one team can't pick up a defense. His is on bye. The opponent refuses to sit his defense. Fair or foul? It all depends on the situation. Like if everyone's involved in this bet, it kind of just, it is what it is. But for the other guy, if there's no benefit for him, I wouldn't want to sit a defense just to, make someone else's bet fair. Right, TD? I mean, you on that too?
Yes, I agree 100% with you.
So give me a little bit more context, Big BS, because just based on this, I don't think it's foul for that person. But, I mean, it's just one sentence. I'm not getting the whole story here, I'm sure. And Second Take Extra said, is Chase Edmonds playing? Tomorrow, we will know more. It
really doesn't matter if you want to know what Connor's going to do. Now, if you just want to know what Chase Edmonds is going to do for us, then I understand it. But he's not going to hurt Connor value. He's kind of did what Dylan has done. He stapled himself into this offense.
Yeah. And I would even say, because Edmonds, like even if you go back to last year when he was like cracking off some of these like 20, 25 yard, passes or, sweeps or whatever that he was just hitting the hole, just hitting the outside or whatever. If he cracks off a 20 yard, just touchdown or something, like you could think that that's hurting Connor, but it's really not. He just made a good play. When they get to the green zone, it's all Connor.
Yep. And that's all you want. You just want to make sure that Connor's going to get all green zone touches, and he will because he's hot right now.
Hell yeah. And let's see. And Will, what up, bro? What's the song I heard about Javonte Williams? I have no idea. It says, what's this I'm hearing about Javonte Williams? Oh, what's this I'm hearing? I don't know.
Nothing yet.
Yeah. What are you hearing? You tell me.
I'm looking at the news right now. There's nothing on Devontae Williams. The only thing I'm seeing is Mike Boone. I'm just saying that if
is that what you're talking about? You talking about Mike Boone? Will throw it in the chat if that's what you're talking about. And here we go. Frank, Sony, Michelle, Wilson, Foreman, duct taping a lineup before the playoffs. Hell yeah, bro. Got to right now. I think that I'll go Foreman as of right now. But if we get more news on Henderson, if Henderson's if he's only limited, if he's limited tomorrow, because tomorrow's their Friday, I think I'm just gonna go with Sony.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Sony. No matter what. I just don't think Henderson hasn't practiced enough for me to think that they split it all the way. So I'm okay with Sony getting the green zone touches. Do you believe that Sony gets the green zone touches? That's the most important to me. Okay,
I think so.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him in there. He was doing his thing, last week, and I think they know that that's what they got out of him.
I like Foreman, but I like Sony better. So,
better offense for sure.
Yeah, yes, I agree.
There we go. And there we go. Bogard is back. And let me see another one from my man Frank said, if Cooks or Debo is out, start who? Shepard, Guyton, T. Patrick, MVS. So Yeah, we got to hear some more news on Cooks, but yeah, not sounding too promising for him. Debo, at least the news that we heard today, does sound a little bit more promising than before. If Shepard plays, I'm playing him. But I think I'm going MVS if Shepard doesn't play.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I'm going MVS too, and I'm going MVS, and it's risky. But like you said, Hustle, I heard you when I was on the chat, listen to the chat, and you said I'm looking for the boom. Hell yeah, that's why I'm playing MVS, and that's why I've been on MVS for the last 2 months, because I knew he's one of the best boom guys. He's been playing with Aaron Rodgers for 6 years. Aaron Rodgers knows how to get MVS the ball. He's not the prototypical high volume receiver, but he's a great deep threat. And I'd rather play with that deep threat and that boom over these guys I don't know what they're gonna do. Right?
Yeah. And TD, you're being summoned here. Can you read the chat?
Yes. Life and sports talk with Jake. Life and sports talk with Jake. What's going on, bro? What's good?
Yeah, what's going down? And Live in Sports Talk with Jake said, is Eckler good to go, by the way? I don't know if you got to it. Everything's sounding like he's good to go as of right now. I mean,
he had another limited practice.
I'm double checking that right now.
Yeah, because he was limited Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, that's usually trending towards he should have been a full go today. You know?
He was a full go today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's good to go.
So here's why he's asking this question, because nowadays when you go full go, they don't just right away take you off the injury report. But we know he's gonna play. But it's gonna say questionable.
And sometimes they do. I mean, it really just depends, because I wasn't even I don't remember where the hell we were this morning, and I just saw David Montgomery his status on Yahoo got changed from questionable to full to healthy. Okay. I was like, oh, he got into full practice.
For the next you talking about Monty?
What?
You talking about Monty?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, perfect example. Yeah. Okay, so they did remove him off okay.
It just kind of depends. Sometimes it really just depends on how these teams classify it and stuff. So a lot of different variables that can come into play.
You know what's sad about that situation too is there's no guy where you could be like, hell yeah, Justin Jackson Thomas. You know what I mean? Or hell yeah, Larry Roundtree. Like, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just Eckler or bust over there.
Yeah.
Like, if there's no Eckler, they're just going to throw the ball a ton. Because they already are one of the most – their run-pass ratio is very close. They're like damn near 50-50.
Yeah. And Rob, he said, can I send you my picks of my team on Messenger to get your opinion on who to drop for Michael Thomas in Dynasty? So do me a favor, man. Make sure you go get on Patreon, because, like, you know, I don't want to be the guy who's like, no, I don't want to answer DMs, because I kind of do here and there, you know. But now that we're getting to the playoffs, like, my time is like I'm being pulled in a lot of different directions by a lot of different things. Make sure you get on Patreon. Make sure you get on the superstar tier or higher. Just go to fantasyfootballhustler.com, click on Patreon, go get signed up, because I'm telling you, like, I may answer some people's DMs randomly when, when they're non-Patreon members. But if you're a Patreon member, like, I make sure to answer your questions, like anyone who's not, sometimes things slip through the cracks. It just is what it is. Life is busy.
Yeah, guys, listen, we're not trying to.
Tell them about your OnlyFans and what you do over there too, because I know it's similar to what I'm doing on Patreon.
Yeah, guys. So listen, I can't speak for Hustler, but we don't tell you to go to like our Patreon and our OnlyFans just to say you can pay, guys. Answering questions on YouTube is very it's almost disingenuous, because you just giving us 2 or 3 players and say, who did I start? Well, we don't know who your quarterback is. We don't know your record. We don't know what you're trying to do. Like, we got to know that. So when you go to our Patreon and my OnlyFans, it gives me the whole picture, and I can make a better assessment. And I'm not just going to give you a clear cut, easy answer. I don't like doing that, right? So I like to be able to assess your team and give you a answer. I don't know how Hustler feels, but that's how I feel about it.
That's how I do, because, if you're going to – what we're doing right here, just like TD said, it's in a vacuum. You're giving us a couple players. We're looking at a question. We're literally just thinking about it for a second or two. We give our answer, and then it's out of our mind, after that. Like, the people who are on Patreon with me, they'll even come in here and they'll still ask questions, and that's fine. But, like, late at night, 9, 10 o'clock at night, maybe when stuff is off, people are tinkering with their teams. They're like, oh, who should I pick up? Like some people just cleared waivers today or whatever, after the Wednesday drops and all that. And so that's why you want to be on it. It's just a level of access that we don't give to anybody other than people who are on that. Because think about everyone else in this industry. When Matthew Berry gets off doing whatever he's doing, he's not answering fucking DMs. He's not answering any of those shits. Like most of these people, footballers, are definitely not doing that. And there's a bunch of people who are on our exact same level, 1,000 subscribers, on YouTube, 2,000, maybe even a little bit less. They do not take the time to do that shit because that's not what they're trying to do full time. I'm doing this full time. You guys are supporting my business. I'm literally treating you, like VIP, consumers, whatever, but that's how I run every business that I've ever ran. And that's the way I think about it. You guys are, if you're paying on Patreon, just for lack of a better word, because you're our homies, but you're a customer of a business. And I'm definitely going above and beyond the Call of Duty for anyone who's supporting this business, because that's what it is for me.
And in a vacuum, if you're going to try to pick up Michael Thomas, drop anybody that's not a starter. That's like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, there's got to be someone at the end of your bench who is not going to sniff the starting roster.
Unless he has the most incredible dynasty league team I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
And if that's the case, you need to get in a league where you have more bench spots, because in the Hustler leagues, we have about 51 total roster spots and we only start about 19 players. So we literally have 30 something, bench spots. And sometimes it's still hard to drop people. But
listen, guys, no cap. Hustler has the best leagues. I played in a bunch of different types of leagues, and I'm not capping. His IDP, the way they score, is awesome. So yes, you need no tight end spot, 5 flex spots. I'm telling you, and all in the dynasty leagues, gas.
Hell yeah, it's making it way better. Let's see. Let's get a couple more, and then we'll get up out of here. What up, Nate? He said, with Jamal Williams out, is Jefferson worth a pickup? I mean, he's worth a pickup, but he's definitely not worth a start. I mean, unless you're really, really desperate.
He has a floor of maybe 3 points is his floor. He had you know what I mean? What is he going to go 11 carries for 30 yards maybe? You know what I mean?
And it's crazy. That might even be pushing it with the 3 points as a floor. I'm going to see what he fucking scored last week.
Well, he only had 2 carries the last time.
Yeah. See, exactly. And even if he's the starter, well, even because he might not be the starter. The other dude that we can't pronounce his fucking name is really the starter. Let me see. Yeah, what did he get last week? He got 1.8 points last week, and he had five attempts and 5 rushes and a target.
You look at that. Give him 10 attempts. 3.6.
So he's got to get to 10 to have his 3-point floor.
That Jared Goff and them, they're going to throw the ball a lot in this game because they're going to be losing the time of possession battle, and they're going to be playing from behind.
Yep.
That's why I like Amon-Ra St. Brown this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the matchup for him, but the volume's going to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice. Austin up in the building said, fellas, what up? And he said, good. What's good?
Yes, sir. And Austin told me, Hustler, he got you to hit 3rd in the hockey league.
Hell yeah, it was fucking dope. And then we were just talking about it earlier, Austin, before you came on here. So there's no college football tomorrow. Hockey is going to be the membership games tomorrow. I told you, bro, when some of the football stuff starts slowing down a little bit, I know that they're going to mix in hockey because they're really trying to get it to be a thing. More people, I mean, because Canada is the second country that this is available in. What do Canadians love? They fucking love their hockey. So
they love hockey and donuts, apparently.
And so, Austin, we are going to need you tomorrow, bro. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Start doing your research.
Did y'all know Austin? He's Canadian.
Okay.
No, I don't know that. I'm just saying.
Hey, Austin, you send me a lineup. I'm going to cash app you a little something. So hit me up in my email. And send me some guys to be looking at and stuff. I don't know about Hustle, but like I told you, Austin, I would love to try to bring you on because I'm not gonna sit here and cap. I don't know a lot about hockey, but I need guys to help me so I can pitch content to my guys. And if you want to do that, man, I'm willing to bring you on, man. We can negotiate that.
Yep, and I told him about that too. I mean, the most hockey that I know about revolves around the Mighty Ducks, and you know, if you grew up in the '90s, you know that the Detroit Red Wings are the shit. Outside of that, I know nothing about hockey.
I'm from San Jose, and we are the Sharks. That's all I know.
And there we go. And Austin said, "Let's go, dude." Man, there's gonna be let me see how many contests tomorrow they have on Super Draft Pro.
Like 4.
So playing it tomorrow. I think it's Edmonton and it's like
so,
Oilers and someone else.
So this is why everyone needs to get on the Elite. Okay, I'm telling you, it's $100 a month. Go to sdhustler.com. Everyone here has their link. So if you're used to watching, you know, TD show on his YouTube, just hit him up. He's got the link. If you're watching this on the GMM Network, it's in the description. But everyone who's in the Elite tomorrow has 8 fucking contests. We got 4 for basketball, and there's multiple games. What it looks like, let me see. Well, there's just so many contests that I see right now, but we got basketball and we got hockey tomorrow. So we got 8 contests, at least that I see right now, just for being on the Elite. So Austin, we need you tomorrow, bro. It's Chicago versus Toronto. That's the game. Chicago versus Toronto.
It's America versus Canada.
All right, Austin. So we're gonna need you, bro. Go check that out. You should at least have the free membership. So you'll see that there is the game there for the free membership as well. So you'll be able to see the multipliers and stuff.
That's why you need to get on that subscription, $100 tier, Austin.
Hell yeah,
Austin. If you need help figuring out how to upgrade your stuff, just come holler at me on Instagram. We've already been talking, so just.
Yeah, so Austin, we know he already got signed up for the free and fun underneath Justin. But yeah, dude, you got to bump that shit up. And then here's something else. I messaged TD and Bogard about this, but I didn't get a chance to tell anybody else just yet because it just kind of came through. So on Monday night, there is another Elite contest. No money. But, well, this is in addition. This is just a separate contest in addition to all the contests. So there's no money involved. Whoever gets, if you finish 1st through 10th, you're going to get a custom Super Draft Pro water bottle with like your username on it and stuff. But if you clock 1st place in this, you are going to get your pick of your favorite NFL player jersey, who's a current NFL player right now, or you get your favorite team, your favorite team's hoodie. And then if you're the one who actually brings on the person who hits 1st, you actually get a jersey or the hoodie as well.
Dope.
You hear that, TD?
I'm sorry. Say it again, bro. I'm sorry.
If you bring in the person who gets 1st place in this contest, for you bringing that person in, you also get a jersey or a hoodie of your choice as well.
Yeah, I read everything, bro. I know, and I figured you sent it to me because me and you talked about this. I said, man, when they gonna start paying us like for people that win?
Yep. And so this is going to be something that's definitely going to be, you know, in the mix in the future, just by whoever, you know, you bringing your friends in, referring your friends. If they end up winning, they're going to figure out how, you know, you get a piece of the pie also. But yeah, Austin, so we need you tomorrow night, bro. And Facebook user said, you guys going out tonight, Hustler? I don't know. It is so fucking cold outside. Like I go outside and it's a damn winter wonderland. And it's T-Money. Yeah. So yeah, we would love to go check out a party, you know, go check out something. I have no idea. We're in Minneapolis, man. Someone throw me some ideas. What the hell do you do in Minneapolis when it's snowing like fuck and you don't want to go anywhere? Yeah.
I mean, you got to do it like Prince, bro. Prince is from Minnesota. You know what he would do? Get like 12, 11 bitches, bro, and just put them inside a house and then get down.
And make them pancakes, right? Man, can you just, I mean, every time I hear Prince now, it's just associated with Charlie Murphy, you know, and RIP to both the legends, man, you know, and just that whole story about Charlie Murphy, like meeting Prince and everything and going back to the crib and all that. And then Prince, they're all just dressed up in their crazy ass, you know, women outfits, you know, at least that's what we think.
Yeah.
dressing like women and getting more girls than you ever will get.
One of his guitarists, he had a guitarist that did a bunch of Vlad TV interviews, right?
Okay.
And the guitarist, he corroborates that story. He was one of the blouses.
Shirts versus blouses.
Yeah.
Oh man, so funny, dude. And then and you already, I mean, I've already heard podcasts about people talking about Prince, how Prince is like a fucking baller. You know, like, man, you ain't guarding Prince, you're not stopping his shot, you know, just real short, real quick, you know, real just everything's finesse. And man, I could just imagine Charlie Murphy getting his ass whooped by Prince, and Prince just clowning them and shit.
He'll be home
game blouses, and then serving them pancakes after whooping that ass. So funny. All right, we got a couple quick Patreon questions in here.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. And let's see. We got from Amy, said Renfro or Mooney this week in standard.
No, they'll be here.
I think I'm going Mooney in standard.
Yeah, because Renfro, like, he needs the touchdown, or like, you better enjoy like your 8 for 60, which would be like 6 points. You know what I mean? So exactly. I'm going because he can get all that in one catch.
But I would say I always preference it like this, because like I said, you know how fantasy is. If you want the safe play in PPR, it's Renfro. But if you want the boom play, and it's playoff time, so I'm pretty sure we need the boom play. It's Mooney.
This one's standard.
Yeah, yep. You can't play Renfro, and you got to play Mooney in standard. Yep.
Yeah.
And here's what I like about Mooney is that Allen Robinson's coming back. So they have like Rasul Douglas or Kevin King, whoever is their number one. When Jair Alexander's not in there, he's gonna be the guy on Allen Robinson. You know what I mean?
Yep. And we know Justin Fields still loves him some Mooney, and that's who's coming back behind center.
Allen Robinson starting.
Allen Robinson's supposed to come back.
He's definitely trending in the right direction. Let me go because they've been talking about it all week that's the plan for him to come back and play. Let me see what he actually was today. If he was
here's what's
full go in practice today.
And I feel like he was able to go this whole time, but like it's a primetime game. You know what I mean? Divisional. Like he wants to show his future team something. You know what I mean?
And what's it called? I mean, yeah, like Bogard said, business decisions. It's a hamstring injury. Like, why the hell is he going to come back early from a hamstring injury?
Yeah.
All right, my man Frank got an IDP question up in here. Perryman, doubtful. I hate hearing that because Perryman was he's probably my favorite linebacker this year because he wasn't drafted in too many places. You picked him up off the waiver wire like everywhere. And he said, so pick up Kaiser White, Holcomb, or H. Landry. I forget what the hell. Harold Landry.
I'll probably go Landry.
I'm going Kaiser White now. I mean, I know a lot of people don't know who the fuck Kaiser White is, but let me just tell you, ever since last year, dude has been a motherfucking baller the way that they use him. And he has
Chargers?
been this year too. For the Chargers, Kaiser White. Yeah, Kaiser White Soze. Good one, JC Penny.
I like that. That almost got him back to
all right. Almost this close. Yeah, now JC Pesos, he's got to work his way up.
You keep coming up with those joints, JC Penny, and you're gonna go places.
Man, yeah, JC Penny, he's gonna be like you guys remember basketball? Me and him were talking about it earlier. Remember how they treat Squeak in that movie? Like, man, that shit, like as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid watching that, I used to die laughing about that because like he gets fired and then they're bringing him into the house, and like he was like, oh dude, that's a sweet couch. Does that roll out to a bed? They're like, oh yeah, super sweet bed, but that's Jenkins' bed, that's the dog. And then they go over to it, it's like, but this is your bed, and it's like it should be the place that the dog is sleeping. It's like a little box and shit. And he was like, dude, come on, man, like how am I supposed to get a chick in this? And they're like, don't worry, dude, you couldn't get a chick if you had $100 bill hanging out of your zipper.
That's the neighbors. In front of the house? Yeah, I don't know why it's in front of our house. In front of my door? Oh yeah. I already took care of everything, done.
I know, I'm gonna show some more.
Okay, just give me a second. I'm doing a pod. My pops just rolled up. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Pops.
Right.
Yeah, so they start ragging on him. And he's like, how am I supposed to get a chick in this? And they're like, don't worry, dude. You couldn't get a chick if you had $100 bill hanging out of your zipper.
And you know what's funny is I grew up, I wasn't Pam Anderson. I was Yasmin Bleeth. So when she was in that movie, I was like, oh, hell yeah, that's my girl. And the funny shit is when they're in the locker room and he's like, yeah, this is Yasmin Bleeth. And they turn around, they go like this, and then you just see the just an over-exaggerated cock.
And she was like, you guys are just your typical men with your humongous egos.
Oh man, that shit had me dying as a kid, man.
And then she just couldn't stop saying cock, and she was about to say something, and she was like, "Long wanger, throbbing cock, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore."
This is why I love Jewish people, bro. You know what I mean? Because like only they can make jokes like that.
They can get away with that shit.
They can get away with all that shit.
All right, let's see. And Amy says, get an Uber and go to the bars downtown. Yeah, JC Money or JC Penny. He likes walking around downtown in this fucking weather.
Because look at him. He's built like a Viking, bro. Like not a football player Viking, but an actual Viking. Swinging.
I had to make a business decision this morning because he was like, fuck, I got to go move the car right now. He's like, but I'm going to go smoke a joint. And I was like, shit. I think I'm just staying here.
No, like, hey, listen, if you go pat JC Penny down right now, pat him down, he has a battle axe on him. He's a real Viking. He's the cold as nothing.
Yeah, and it's not super cold. I mean, it's really not. Like, I mean, as much as everyone was talking shit, you know how I'm gonna be freezing my balls off and everything. Like, I'm frozen a little bit, but I got multiple layers, and like, I didn't even need anything from out here. JC Money hooked me up with the coat today because it was raining, so I put that on top of my sweater. So because it was snowing, but it was getting wet, like it was damn rain out there.
Well, because listen, I don't know if everybody knows this, but snow is made of water.
Yeah. To me, like, that's why, even saying snow, it's snowing, that's not in my vocabulary. Like, that might as well just have been white rain to me.
Right. Hey, listen. And like snowflakes though, do they really look that cool? Like I've never looked at a snowflake. Do they look like how Christmas portrays them?
They do. If you look up and close and personal, like they do.
So, according to JC Penny, he said that they do. I was just getting smacked in the face by all this snow, this sideways snow that was coming in at us. So I didn't care about looking at anything. But going back to South Park season 1, I did have to ask him, is this Christmas snow? Like, what is it out here?
Right. And
what did Austin say? He said, he said, I'll send you lineups tonight or tomorrow morning for Chicago. Okay, yeah. Not San Jose, though. Okay. I saw the San Jose, and I was like, wait, what the hell? I'm seeing Chicago versus Toronto here.
So they got a San Jose Sharks game on the app?
No, not this one. I mean,
and the longest time, I used to trip because I'd be like, man, I've never seen a black guy play hockey, but San Jose Sharks had a couple black dudes. I was like, oh, word.
Edmonton was
we're very impressive.
And you know what? You need enforcers on the squad, Like, I mean, if so, just going off of the stereotypes, and I'm sure TD knows, some black folks that can't swim, some that like hate the cold, that shit. I hate the cold. I hate the cold too. I'm tropical. Yeah, but if they can handle being on the ice, out there with those ice skates and all that, you already know they're about to fuck some people up.
You know what's funny? I always wondered this, like, I was kind of getting to this earlier about like when you practice in basketball, they're running like all the drills. Same thing with football. You know what I'm saying? When you practice for hockey, right? Do they got a guy out there on the skates with like pads? You know what I mean? And you're out there just like, you know what I mean? Sparring and shit. You know what I mean?
I mean,
you gotta know how to box on skates, right?
Yeah, because I mean, when you see like, let's say a basketball fight or a baseball fight, like I remember seeing one fight between the Padres and the Cubs, and it was like I can't even remember. it was I can't remember the guys, but one of them was like he was
Out the
6'10".
dugout.
Yeah, right outside the dugout, and they come and like they square up and they look all goofy. And when you see it like from the back, like if it's just, you know, like the pitcher cam or whatever, if you see it from the back, they look like they're taking like clean, solid shots like at each other. But then when you look at the side view, they're literally like a foot away from each other swinging. Like they're not even close to hitting the person.
Well, that's why they're baseball players, not boxers. You know?
Exactly.
You don't really got to work. You know, what's funny is like in football, back in the 90s, you had some of those progressive coaches that'll be like, you know what, you're going to take some ballet classes because you got to learn how to like be graceful, right? Or like, you know, tell a popular, like, remember I said Le'Veon Bell, he was taking boxing. He wanted him to work on his footwork. You know what I mean? Like, there's some components that you could use in those sports, but like, you can't do none of that in hockey. You're on skates. You know what I mean?
Yep. And there we go. Austin said all enforcers in the NHL have boxing coaches that they work with on the side. There you go.
And it's funny because it's not allowed, but it's part of the game so much that they have boxing coaches. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, it is allowed though. Like, I mean,
I thought
they let you scrap until someone falls. Like when someone falls, that's when the scrap gets stopped.
it is true.
So
Well,
like, yeah, and like, and who was it? Sid the Kid, you know, Sidney Crosby. Like, man, they're smart with him because you know they can't have him getting into no fights. So you got like 4 enforcers like out on the ice whenever he's there.
What is Crosby, like a little dude or what?
Yeah, and I mean he's probably, I mean, a couple years ago he was the face of the NHL. You know, like I don't know if it's still like that today. All right, we got 2 more questions and we're getting up out of here. And Jarrett said Cam or Carr. This one is fucking tough. This one is fucking tough for me.
Okay, you want to know something about Derek Carr? Is that he's only had one good game in Kansas City in his career, and it was last year. It was basically their Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Yeah. So and there's supposed to be, you know, anywhere from 15 to 20 mile an hour winds again. I'm not fooling with Carr. I'm going Cam against Atlanta.
This is put up or shut up time for Cam. Like this game could determine if he's ever going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL again. And I think I'm going to go Cam versus the Falcons because they have been so shitty. I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with it.
My dad, look at my dad with the fantasy advice. He's like, oh, what about that Mac Jones?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah,
And
he's not good for fantasy though, Pops. Reality, yes.
And Levon on Facebook.
My dad slid through. My dad, he be dropping the girls off, right? And he always sees my garage. He's like, I'm gonna come by. I'm gonna clean your garage. I'm like, nah, it's unnecessary. I'm like, the genius is messy, and so he's over here like he just can't stand. He can't stand like how I be having shit like everywhere. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you. Every time someone cleans up my workstation, it usually ends up like stuff is always lost.
That's what I'm saying. Like I actually just turned and looked right now, like make sure you don't throw anything away I need. But I appreciate it though, you know what I mean? But
always appreciated. And what up, Levon? He said, "What's up with Joe Mixon? Is he a start?" I mean, if he plays, I'm playing him. But I mean, it's he didn't practice all week due to this quote unquote illness. I want to see what they say about him tomorrow.
Oh, you know what? If he does a walkthrough, I say there's a chance.
Yeah,
he hasn't even, because you remember the week he was out there all week in a hoodie.
Yep.
Remember he was out there in a hoodie and he ended up playing.
Yep, and did decent.
Yeah, he did well actually. So and an illness is something also too. Is like you just want to keep him away from the rest of the team. You know what I mean? So he doesn't get everybody sick. You feel me?
If that's what's really wrong with him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this could be total fucking coach speak. And Facebook user. So we heard this also earlier. An ESPN insider said that Mixon is going to play.
Go.
We're expecting it because I mean, if this is really an illness, we expect him to play. I was just always of the mindset we heard shit about his neck, being an issue, and I just always thought that this could be somewhat coach speak that they don't want to reveal what his actual injury is, And, they're just saying illness because that's like, it's almost like what Super Draft Pro is doing with these memberships. They're working around the system a little bit.
I'm more so worried about someone like Boston Scott, right? Because like, is it a Boston Scott situation where he was sick and then they're like, no, but he's gonna play, and then he does nothing, like at all. You know what I mean? It's that if Joe Mixon plays, this is not the case. You know what I mean? But like maybe sharing, but they haven't been shy. They never shied away from sharing the workload.
All right, Bogart, we're gonna get into your tank real quick here. Let's go back because I don't remember too much, and you remember some stats off the top of the dome. Let's see if you remember this while I go research. Remember that game where Mixon came back and we almost thought he was coming back too early or whatever, and like Samaje ended up scoring a touchdown catch and whatever. You remember anything about that game?
Who was it against? Was it against the Packers?
I honestly don't remember. I just remember the situations that happened.
Because I remember one of the games that he came back off illness. Actually, I think it was too. Right.
Cool.
I know P. Ryan got a ton of work too, but I think P. Ryan's work was it was his numbers were skewed because he had a big run to the house, and it was against the Ravens. There it is. There was a game against the Ravens. Joe Mixon didn't practice all week. He was on, but they were like, he was seen in a hoodie, but he definitely got up for that game. They got to get up for this game.
Man, you're so on point with that too, because I was looking at the snap counts. And the only game that it could have kind of been was week 7, where the snap counts were almost 50-50. And I was like, that has to be the game.
And that was the game against the Ravens.
You threw the Ravens out, and then that's who I saw. They did it right there. And let's see. How did the split work then? Literally 50-50. 12 carries for 59 yards Mixon got, and he got that touchdown. And then Samaje P. Ryan had 11 carries, 52 yards, also had the touchdown.
Yeah, but he had like a 30-something yard house call.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then Samaje also had 1 reception for 23 yards as well. So.
Oh, that might have been the tug, actually.
It wasn't. It was the rush that he got it, but he did have the long 23-yard catch.
Yeah.
So, and also CJ Uzama was a little bit more active in the red zone this week as well. That was the week that he had 2 touchdowns.
Hold on, Dad. I'm about to be done.
Yep, we're getting out of here right now. So just let's keep that with a great, take all that with a grain of salt, and Mixon plays. I'm playing them. I'm just gonna say everyone else should too.
Go get a Samaje P. Ryan, if he's available, or go get who else is in that one? Maybe a Marcus Valdez-Scantling, someone that you could pivot to off Alan Lazard, AJ Green, something like that. Find somebody, if not somebody in the same time slot. You know what I mean?
There we go. All right. We're getting up out of here. Friday show is always the most important. We're going to have, I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow for a Wake and Bake Q&A Minnesota edition. And then I'm going to be flying back to San Diego. And then we got a dope show tomorrow evening. Bogart, why don't you tell them about it?
Yeah, it's the Real Fantasy Playmakers regular season finale. You know what I mean? It's still the what if series, so we'll throw in some what ifs, but it's also just a grandiose Q&A. It's our normal Saturday night tip episode, but we're just mashing it with the Playmakers because we didn't do Playmakers Wednesday because we had other obligations, all of us, so it actually worked out. And I think we're going live 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So you know what I mean? Come rock with us on a Saturday night. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of more information funneling in. We'll be able to update you on, the likes of Mike Williams and the likes of, even maybe a Joe Mixon. A lot of these guys that we're monitoring, this is, we're going to get some real strong answers here.
Hell yeah. Saturday night show is going to be the second most important show of the week. You guys need to tap in on Sunday morning. There's going to be so many questions that we've all had all week that will not be answered until Sunday morning. So appreciate you guys tapping in. Don't forget, for me, just go to fantasyfootballhustler.com. Go follow me everywhere. You can get to Super Draft Pro from there as well. Go hit me up on Patreon because you guys need to get there. I'm live streaming more than I was last year for sure. But I know that people want the DM access and things like that. You got to get on Patreon to get that because I'm getting probably 200 DMs a day on Facebook, because that group that we have on Facebook, there's like 72,000 members, and everyone sees that I'm the admin, and the group was created by the Fantasy Football Hustler. So you guys gotta get there. All right, and my man Jeff, YouTube member here, I got you, bro. So what's up, gents? Cheers. Do y'all trust Herbert or Ty Johnson? Neither, because I'm assuming you're talking about Khalil Herbert. David Montgomery was a full go in practice today. He's going to be good to go. So if I'm choosing one of the two, I'm choosing Ty Johnson, but I do not trust him.
I'm going to go to the waiver if I'm him. First of all, I'm going to agree with you. It's Ty Johnson if I have to choose between those two. Lesser of two evils. But I am going to say, look for like a Rashad Penny maybe. You know what I mean? Like that's probably a better running back play this week than either of those guys. I mean, Ty Johnson's playing against the Saints. They're the number one run defense. And I don't know if anybody's aware of this, but he plays for the Jets too. You know, they're not good. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Khalil Herbert, you're going to need – he did tear up Green Bay last time they played, had 2 touchdowns on him, but he was the only guy there. Montgomery was out. Montgomery's back. It's his show. You know what I mean? I'm looking for like a Rashad Penny, maybe. And the guy I'm dropping probably be Ty Johnson, because if anything happens to Montgomery, you have a top 15 play with Herbert. So I'm looking for Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny probably going to do just that much better than a Ty Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah, because here's the thing. They're both in committees, Ty Johnson and Penny. But Penny is at least the lead. I mean, I know Coleman's out, but I just don't. Yeah, I'm not fooling. Especially that they're not going to target him either. Like Zach Wilson doesn't check down to the running back.
Not at all. The only time he checks it down is when they're not looking at him. Then he'll throw it at their back.
Right at their dome.
Fucking Zachary. I don't care how good you did. You threw the ball into Ty Johnson's back when he wasn't looking at it.
Right.
All right, guys, we're out. And Team Money said, peace, fellas. Good shit. Appreciate you for always tapping in. Shout out to everyone who tapped in the whole time, because I saw there's a bunch of people on here the whole time. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
We're out. We'll be back tomorrow for some live streams. We'll be back on Sunday. And then fantasy news today. Next week, playoff edition. Playoffs are here, baby. Let's get this last dub. Let's make sure we all got a good spot in the playoffs. And if you're fighting for a bye this week, let's get it. You don't hold anything back. Go big or go home.
Oh, yeah.
We're out. Peace.
Hey.